I drove field cuts through my neighborhood.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fearlessly Authentic. Guess who I have tonight? I bet you know. I bet you.
Hi.
Misty!
Peekaboo. It's me.
Yay!
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm glad we're finally getting to do this.
I know. It's been like, I don't know. It's been a while. I think I started like 6 months, I think, is what when I started the show about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But
we talked about it a million times, and for whatever reason, something would happen or whatever.
Yeah, and there was always something, that like, and then, I would go through just lull points, like, or I was just kind of like, just kind of going through the motions of doing the show. I know what that's like. You just kind of like, and then I'm like, yep, I got to get back in this habit of scheduling the people and like doing the things. And I mean, I'm doing it consistently, but I haven't like reached out as much to like get other people on. So I'm glad.
I hate it. I hate scheduling. I hate booking. I hate it. I don't mind booking for other people. Like I can get people to go on other people's shows, but asking for myself, I'll seriously sit and hold my phone. Just send the email, Misty. The worst they can do is say no. Just send it. Just send it. Just send it. I'll just stare at my phone. Just send it. Oh,
I know. I guess. I know, and I reminded Fee too. I was like, "Hey, you got to come on and do a show too." And she's like, "Yeah, when after she gets to go to Moscow, so that will be exciting. We'll be able to have a catch up after she's already like done the whole adventure to Moscow. Like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to like set. I'm gonna have to make her like fuzzy, like this, like the microphone. I'm gonna have to make her like fuzzy hood hats and stuff. Like, she's gonna need some.
Yeah, I want to go to Russia. Oh, see? Oh.
That's great. The t-shirt queen.
Yeah, I am sad.
I love it. I wear like the tank tops all the time, like with the bra built in, like just year round.
Oh yeah.
Like, I live in the things. Like I don't have to wear a bra. I just have the thing. Oh my gosh, I have to go to a wedding next month. And I'm like, I'm on I guess you would call the groomsman side. And like, I have to wear I'm actually going to sew myself my own fancy dress, but I'm like, oh, ew, I'm going to have to wear like a bra and everything. That's just so weird. Like,
I hate getting dressed up. I hate it. I hate getting dressed up. Like the first, I don't know, 20 minutes might be okay. Like when you're just like, oh, I look cute, right? But then I'm like, okay, can I have my sweatpants back, please?
I know, like you just want to like get comfortable again. Yeah.
It's so unnecessery.
I know. I'm the like, I don't want to wear shoes. I don't want to wear the uncomfortable things. Like,
I just want to chill. I don't know why. Why is there dress requirements for shit? Why can't I just show up to everything in my sweatpants?
I know.
Okay.
Right?
Ugh.
I mean, like,
that's what I want to do. Don't force me to wear some dumb shit.
Yeah. At least I'm happy that at least I get to like, I can pick the dress out or make it myself. Like that. That's one thing that I like, is that I'm not required to go and like buy like a specific bridesmaid's dress or something, like clothes off the rack. They don't, I want to be able to adjust it and fix it and, be comfortable in it as much as I have to be. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like and it's at a hotel, like banquet style, like wedding. Like that's just like fancy shit, man. Yeah. I'll get through
backyard weddings.
Yes. I'm the like, let's have a big camp out, and let's do a s'mores like bar, and do live music all night by the campfire, and that's the kind of thing. Like that's my kind of like
I
ideal.
got married in a barn, and not joking, immediately following the ceremony, I changed into sweatpants. Like we did our dance thing, and then I'm not joking, changed into sweatpants and an Ohio State t-shirt.
That is awesome. I love it. But that's real. Like, why do we have to be uncomfortable?
I sat on the floor and made my friends all help me take all the bob pins out of my hair.
Oh
There
my
was like a million
gosh.
of them, and I put it in a ponytail, and then we partied.
Yes. See, like I don't understand the rest of that. I really don't.
That is sick. I like being cozy.
Let's see who's in here with us. Sirius is in here. Sirius is like always in first, like first at the door.
Love that.
Oh my gosh. Lady Alex sent me the best pants today. You would love them. They're like yoga pants, but they're tie-dyed. Oh my god.
Love it.
Oh
I love that.
They are so. Oh, I don't know if they'll show up on the green with the green screen.
Oh yeah, maybe not. Oh yeah, they're a little bit. Nice. They like totally just blend in.
They like disappear. They are super comfortable. They're too warm to wear right now, but oh my gosh.
Where are you at again?
We're in Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad there, right?
It's not. I mean,
in Ohio we just had at least 4 tornadoes.
Oh my gosh.
In the state of Ohio yesterday. My days blur together. Yesterday, day before yesterday, maybe. And then maybe 2 other ones apparently, which is intense. Nothing major. We get tornadoes here, but usually they're just like like EF1s, EF2s. Nothing super bad, but yeah, 4 in one day. That's pretty intense. Nowhere near me though. Although my mother-in-law's house did get hit by a tornado recently.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah, she had like a line of trees by her house, and a tree fell into her over her house. There was huge holes in her ceiling. Yeah, it was pretty fucked up. There's a lot of damage over there for Ohio, obviously. I mean, I know people in Oklahoma are like, is she serious right now? But yeah, for Ohio, it was pretty intense.
Crazy.
Remember when Ohio wasn't really in the tornado alley?
You should say hi first, Steve. He just start talking.
I didn't even know he was here.
He just came back in the room.
Hi, hey, Misty, how's it going?
Hi.
I just kind of come and go. I'm a disembodied voice.
Yeah, you'll just randomly hear his voice. Yeah,
I like it.
But I remember when Connecticut wasn't in the tornado valley alley. Yeah. It was like, it was just like the small little stretch of now Connecticut is in it. It's like it goes from like Arizona to Maine, I think. Now.
It's growing. They said it's shifting. So like where stuff's starting to happen is shifting a little bit, which I guess is to be expected. There's this one guy that does so I'm obsessed with tornadoes, kind of. Which I know sounds weird, but I have been since I was a kid. And there's a guy, I forget his name, I should look it up, but he does he's pretty new. He does these amazing tornado videos where he goes back and looks at the path of it on the map, and does different from the day before. You can look at the Google, the Sky View or whatever, and then you can see the change and the path that the tornado cuts across. And he's so good, and he's one of my new favorite guys to watch on YouTube. I'm so obsessed with
I love those weather dudes.
That's awesome.
Some of those weather guys are way into it, super deep into it. Have 19 different maps open and all.
They have to.
I know, it's crazy. It's just really intensive.
I'm so bad at names, but there's a couple guys in Oklahoma who are legends. Yeah. And there was the one guy. I wish I could remember his fucking name. But one of the Moore tornadoes. He just did he was on air for 12 hours straight. Didn't sit down.
Oh my gosh.
And that was. And he's just nailed it. Did a great job of keeping everybody informed minute by minute, keeping his cool, but also being. And it was, that was one of the worst tornadoes ever. And he just handled it like a fucking legend. That's great.
Killer.
That's crazy.
I can imagine that's a hard job.
Yeah, it's so hard. There's so many variables and so many factors to keep track of. It's crazy.
Yeah. And you got to know, especially these people, you have to know your town, the map, the city. Because he's okay, it's on Main Street and it's going to be moving over to, 21st. And then, he's got to know the entire map so he can tell everybody who lives in that area, hey, it's coming for you next. It's just crazy. All the knowledge that you have to do that fucking job. I'm sure that's super stressful too, because it's life or death.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
And you've got to know like where it's going, and like not have your own bias about like like not to keep that clarity while you're doing it. Like I know this is going towards something that like I care about.
Guys, like their houses, like he's like I can't remember his name either because I'm terrible at fucking names.
I am too. I'm so bad.
I'll think of it like 10 minutes after we get done. I'll be like, that's his fucking name. That's what always happens. But there was a guy who in the middle of a tornado, as he was doing it, he's like, yeah, that's my neighborhood. And then he just moved right on. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And he just kept his cool. And it's like, there's a tornado headed straight for his house. I'm like, man, I would be losing my shit.
I would,
where the news station, the building gets hit, or is it like they have to like actually go off air and like run for the hallways and stuff? I've seen some really crazy videos.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that is intense. Is that how you like de-stress? Like you watch these like crazy like weather?
I watch tornado videos and true crime. I'm not joking. There's something wrong with me. I watch the most stressful shit. Like I do politics for a living. And then I go watch tornado videos and true crime to chill.
Hey, I mean, it's all about the truth, though. Like that's, I'm noticing a theme. Like you're seeking truthful things. Yeah, the weather doesn't lie. Like the weather is the fucking weather. There's nothing like.
I don't. And listen, I'm terrible at science. But like I just have a great deal of respect for meteorology and the weather. Like I love weather. I mean, all of it really, but in particular, seriously, I'm not joking. Since I was a little kid, like 5-6 years old, I've been fascinated by tornadoes.
I wonder if there's like something that like triggered you as a kid that made you like a movie or like something. Wizard of Oz, maybe. Probably.
I mean, I think a lot of kids were. I mean, my kids have. Everybody's seen that movie, so maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't know for sure. But I would say that's possible for sure.
I'm pretty sure they were manipulating our like trauma centers in our minds with that. With that tornado, and then when Twister came out in the 90s, it triggered everybody again.
Yeah. Dude, I have seen that movie so many times. So many times. My brother and I used to watch that religiously, like all the time. If it's on, I'll watch it. If I'm going across it, I will watch it. I love that.
Misty, no judgment, but I think you might have a Tornado Jones.
Yeah,
I do.
I'm just saying.
Sure. So I have severe ADHD and I hyper focus. So when I'm into something, I'm fucking into something. You know what I mean? Like
I can appreciate that.
Yes. I'm in all the way.
I like the investment.
I love it though. Yeah, you're really invested in things, but you're invested in important things.
Yes, exactly.
It's not like I just like rainbows and like you're obsessed with rainbows.
What the mushroom guy says, you're fucking on it, girl. So don't take that bullshit.
I just hyper focus. That's just how I operate. And so if
I can feel the weather, like I feel the weather coming because I have like I've had 2 back surgeries.
My knees are fucked. So
I will feel the weather. Like I'll be like, oh man, we're getting rain or something. Like I'll be like, I can feel the pressure system changing. And like I'll look up the weather and it's like, it doesn't say anything. And I'm like, there's something. No, I can tell. I can tell when they're messing with shit.
That's like your bone barometers. Everybody's got some of them.
Yeah.
As they get older, they get more accurate.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bone barometers. Bone barometer.
I mean, we all know that like old person who is constantly talking about how, my knee hurts, it's going to rain. And they're always right.
Yep.
I mean, it's,
they are never, ever wrong.
I know. They're more reliable than any local meteorologist, I think, for sure. No question about it.
The best is when a local meteorologist has those afflictions and can call it that way. Like, well, it says the radar is fine, but I can tell you my knee is killing me right now. So
yeah, that's funny. I love guys.
I love the pants, Alex. They fit perfect. I just put them on, but they're just too warm to wear right now.
And are they like lined or something, or are they like just?
No, they're just cotton like yoga pants, but they're not like they're not like thin like ones.
Super groovy yoga.
They're like a nice weight. It's just that it's humid out here. Like it's just humid and kind of like sticky.
Yes, I live in Ohio. I know.
We get the weirdest weather. It's like cool outside, but it's still humid, like sticky, weird. Like it's like you still feel like
you can't breathe. Like the air is sucked out of your environment. Yes.
Yes,
and you instantly sweat, even if it's kind of cool.
Yes. I know, and it's so weird because it's like
get out of the shower.
It's like you shouldn't feel sticky like that. You shouldn't feel that way. It doesn't feel right. The temperature should be warmer if it's not going to feel that way.
Yeah, that's so true, though. I mean, I live in Ohio. I get it. I know that's how it works here too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So how's all the chat family people doing? Jim Young, nice to see you.
I'm so bad at the chat. I'm so
Lady Alex, legendary Lady Alex of the Lady Alexes.
Yeah, I'm definitely a cotton clothes person.
Hi, gamer.
Gamer is so sweet. I love our fam. I'm so like amazed at like how much support we just, like if we are having a bad day, we can go into any chat. Like you can just be like, I'm having a fucking shit day, and there's going to be people that are going to be there that are going to understand and they're going to be there for you. And it's an amazing thing because I don't know. Maybe they have these all over the place in the internet, but I love our fam. Sure. I love that we really have and that they care, like when they're saying they care, like that they mean that.
Yes.
It's an authentic community, whether it's virtual.
100%.
Charlie Mac.
Yeah. Charlie
Mac.
Did you guys all see the show last night that Misty did?
That was awesome.
We don't have to talk about it. I don't want to blast them on air again.
You don't have to, but it was you were authentic and you stood up, you stood up for what you believed in, what you said, and you said it in a very like kind way.
Yes.
I mean, I was honestly trying. I honestly
diplomatic
was
as fuck.
I tried to be like, yeah, that's you do that thing that you want to do. That's fine. I'm doing something different. And I tried many times too. But I just point out many times.
Yes, you did. You did really well. You did really, really well.
I'm just like I'm also like in just totally done with bullshit time right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm just done. I'm just done. I don't have a lot of patience for stuff anymore.
We don't have time for it.
Yeah. Really finding myself shorter and shorter on patience, like with silly shit. Like people do silly shit and you're like, oh, really? You guys got to do the silly shit? I thought we were talking about serious things. You know, I thought we were trying to do.
It's like we want to be able to have this fun and all of that too. It's not that we don't want to have any fun. It's just we don't want to deal with the bullshit end of things.
Did you see Lady Alex's comment? She said she was called out by Pasta today because she called in and he didn't agree with her statements regarding guns. Ooh, spicy.
Wait, on what? What did you not agree with?
What did the newspaper guy say?
Yeah, what did the newspaper guy tell you?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Steve was on my show earlier, but I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
Lady Alex came on and we had Rome, Unholy Rome from RBN, and we had Noli D on, and we did a show on sex workers together.
Nice.
Really, really fun show.
It was
nice. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Had good moments, definitely.
Elle had an avocado earlier. That is fantastic.
All right.
We like avocados.
That's
breaking news.
Breaking avocado news.
I like avocados and salads. My husband makes really awesome salads with avocado.
I love salad and avocado.
Okay, I'm getting over to everyone's telling me that Charlie does not have a wrench, and I'm getting over to
that is an inequity that needs to be ratified immediately.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So how are things otherwise with you? How is Jack?
Jack's great. Gamer, I'm actually an Xennial. I was born in 82, so I'm in that weird crossover group. So
you are?
Yeah, from 78 to 83, I think. There's like a 5-year little group of us, I guess.
Yep, I've been that too.
I think they have one of those They have one of those for me too, because I wasn't born in '68. I think they have a little group subgroup too. I don't know what it's called.
I didn't know we had a
weird little
group.
No, it's called Xennials, and we are a weird little group if you think about it, because we grew up, like, our childhood was very analog. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have computers.
Yeah.
We played outside. We watched Saturday morning cartoons. So we had like
you were home before the street lights were on.
Yeah.
I mean, like you could go to your neighbor's mom's house for lunch and she would make you a grilled cheese or whatever, you know, like.
And then we came of age as the technological boom was happening. So as we like started to like turn into teenagers and young adults, that's when technology boomed. So it's kind of a weird existence. Yep. I don't know. We kind of got the best of both worlds there, I guess. But yeah, so I'm an Xennial. Yeah. I like to call myself an elder millennial because I'm an old millennial. So
yeah, I was born in '80.
It's like a cusp,
so I didn't even know that was like a thing. But yeah, we are definitely we're in a weird place because I mean, like I remember getting Nintendo when I was like 10 or something. I got my Game Boy when I was like 10. You know.
Yeah.
And it was like the craziest thing. And
I want my Game Boy back.
I have it still. I have my Game Boy.
I used to love playing Kirby on my Game Boy growing up. Like
I have Tetris.
Oh,
I was Tetris obsessed, and I to this day I can still like if I can spatially see where things go. Like it comes in very handy being artsy and stuff. Like being able to go,
good at it too. And I'm also an excellent packer because it's the same. I'm a really good mover.
I was just gonna say packer. Like
I think it did that.
Best qualities.
I think that was one of those things that we like. It's like they trained us to do it. Like it's really weird when you look back and you go, oh my gosh, like. all the little things, like how they kind of indoctrinate us, like as we like got older, and like there's a whole group of us that kind of almost have the same kind of upbringing, the same kind of like skills, and like it's really weird because of that. Like it's like, oh, girl, we were talking about like last night on Steve's chat, we were bringing up like all like, you know, like the 80s stuff, like the, you know, like the Smurfs and the Fraggles and
oh shit. The shirts. What were the shirts? Help me. Oh, come on.
Oh, the Technicolor or whatever?
No, I'm talking about the cartoon. It was like the something shirts or God damn it. Why do I suck at names?
Oh,
hold on, I'm looking it up because it's gonna.
Do you remember those shirts though? The ones that changed color, like Technicolor, like
Shirt Tails.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
See, I should have remembered that. My sister loved that shit.
I loved that when I was a kid.
And like Gem and like.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, so I have Gem dolls. When my kids were growing up, that's when they put Gem on Netflix. It was on Netflix for a while. And so my youngest daughter was really into it. So I got on eBay and found some of the old Gem Barbie dolls. And I got Gem earrings.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I
loved Gem. I'm not even joking. Loved it when I was growing up. I wanted to be Gem so bad.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, like she made colored hair like popular, you know, like, I mean, come on. I was like a Rainbow Bright kid, like Care Bears, you know, Smurfs, and like, oh, what was the
Strawberry Shortcake.
Oh my gosh,
My Little Pony.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and I have like vintage stuff like around still. Like Skylar grew up
with vintage Care Bear stuff, bunch. Got that too on eBay when my kids were little, because and my oldest is still into Care Bears and My Little Pony.
Yeah, Skyla likes, and you know what's crazy? If you look at the vintage My Little Ponies to the My Little Ponies now, they're thin. They are thin. They thinned out the ponies.
They made the ponies go on a crash diet.
They did. And it's so weird to me when I remember like when she was growing up, I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, I have, you know, I always like to have some of the vintage toys around and stuff like that. And so I was looking at them, I'm like, wow, the ponies used to actually have like curves and like, you know, like weight to them.
I prefer my ponies with a curve.
And now they're just super like thin, and it's so weird how they do that. It's so weird.
Jim Young says, I miss my older sister hogging the mustard color rotary phone with the 50-foot cord back when life was simple.
Twirling the cord on your finger, like while you're like
I'll be off in a minute.
As far away as you can. Oh my gosh, my friends all ended up with like they all had like their own phone line, and they had like the clear phone.
Ooh.
And like I never had that.
Bougie.
I didn't have my own phone line. And
I had to fight my mom to get call waiting because then we could use the internet and the phone at the same time. I had to fight with her on that. I'm like, can we please?
Yeah, because
you
internet.
You guys remember all of that?
At the
all
same
of those.
time and time both up.
Yeah, because internet was like dial up, and we had AOL. Like you've got mail.
I can still hear the noise.
Yes, that crashing noise.
Yeah.
That's been. I think that's the thing that broke the time continuum. Is that noise over and over and over.
Maybe.
And you get like the AOL discs in the mail, and like
yes.
Back,
and you still would get the what's the name where you could order all the CDs for $1.
Columbia House.
Yes, and BMG. It was BMG too.
They came a little later.
Yep. Oh my god.
Hey, Trey's here. Trey.
Right.
Trey.
Hi, boo.
Absolutely.
That is
I know. I'm so behind on the chat.
You guys like remember all of the facets of like the infancy of the internet, like starting, and all of those weird, quirky things of like the dial-up sound and getting discs in the mail from AOL. Like you got 11 free hours of internet, or whatever the fuck, like all these deals and shit. And internet providers started popping up all over the place because anybody who could run a server could make a setup for somebody. It was fucking really wild, like the Wild West.
I'm serious. Like it was like this and it boomed. Like once it got going, it was. Still tons of stuff. Like have come from. You know what I mean? It's not how fast it all happened. It seems like anyway. I mean, I'm sure it didn't really happen that way, but it felt like a very clear delineation from like my life before technology and then after. Like by technology, I mean like post internet, like post.
Definitely, it's like after the first 5 or 6 years of internet, there being internet available to everybody. Once they kind of refine like video codecs and audio and uploading speeds and downloading speeds got a little bit faster and everything started to click. That's when it fucking took off. It just everybody was innovating new ways to make video look better, and fucking it was just on.
Yeah. Well, and remember
everybody's a producer.
Everybody had pagers. You know what I mean? Like
oh my god, I worked at a pager store.
Yes.
My friends used to come in and I would change their cases for them for free.
Oh my gosh, I remember
that. 1-800 number that lasted 10 years.
Nice.
Yeah, that was like the best. That was like the best like communications deal I ever did, because it was like $200 or something, but it was 10 fucking years. I was like, yes.
Yeah. I worked at a pager store. I loved that job actually. I mean, kind of. It was boring, but I did get I could change my pager case anytime I wanted. My friends could come in and hang out with me at the store while I was working. Wasn't so bad.
That's decent.
Yeah. I had a little mini. I remember I had like one of the little mini pagers. I loved it.
If you enjoy it,
you felt like a badass, like payphone. You had to use a payphone. Like,
the best was the Chingers when Grateful Dead tour in the late '80s. You have like a little device that was about the size of your cell phone that just made the sound of coins in a payphone. You just put it up to the receiver on the fucking phone and could call anywhere for free. It was fantastic.
I remember calling the operator and asking what time it was and shit.
We have a phone number here in my town. We have you can still call it today. I can call it right now and it'll tell me what time it is.
Really?
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Right
that is so crazy.
I would do it so you could hear it, but I don't want to dox myself, and I'm not sure if it says the location.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I'm at. But yeah, I could call it right now and it would tell me the time and the weather. And it'll probably say weather tonight, and then it'll also give me in the morning too.
It used to be
what? That's so cool.
When I lived in Rhode Island as a child in West Warwick, there was you could call up the Old Stone Bank, and it was Fred Flintstone telling you the time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Nice.
I remember when cereal used to come with little toys in it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time, like it was my like there was like a California raisin thing, like it was a raisin brand or something, and I convinced my mom that I really wanted that cereal because I thought that the California raisin guy was in there, but he wasn't. It was like a send away one, like you had to. Oh my gosh! Remember like the Kool-Aid? Like you had to collect the little point things and send those in.
Yes.
Did you ever do that?
No.
Oh my god!
I was never
Miles.
organized enough for that.
I wasn't organized enough until they, I started smoking cigarettes. Then
Yeah, Marlboro
I would send
Miles
away,
and
you know,
Camel Cash.
I didn't do that either.
Absolutely.
I did a little bit of it, but I never like collected enough of any of it to like really do anything.
I smoked from the time I was like, I guess 16-ish, 17 until I was 25. And I never once, and I smoked Camel, and I never once collected any of my Camel Cash. Never one time. I threw away a lot of Camel Cash.
Yeah, a lot of people did that. A lot of people just gave them to their friend that was like kept collecting them. I did that for years too, like with the Marlboro ones.
I'm just not organized. Like even still now to this day, I haven't. It's not smoking, but like the stuff for your kids' PTO, the little box tops. That's what they're called, box tops.
Oh yeah.
Can't do
I
it.
tried
I'd rather
for a
just
little while, and I would always forget, and then like they would like expire or something. Like
I never remember.
Now
Never.
everything's QR codes.
Yes, which is, I mean, would be, it can be. I don't remember to do that either, though.
No, but ideally it seems easier.
she's watching the storm chasing videos, like she's like, no, screw them box tops.
This chat is off the chain. Oh my god, what is happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
I don't know. Like Shelly's like, my brother told me they'd be sitting on the edge of the East Sydney Dam hanging out, and Sean would play guitar and sings about how magical his dick was.
What?
And I guess, and then
I guess he goes.
And then,
Steve just goes, I guess.
And then Sirius says, "I'm your penis, I'm your pecker" by Black and Decker.
Oh my god!
With musical notes. Because I'm like, what?
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's happening either. Somebody explain all this madness to me, please.
People are.
Lady Alex wants you to talk about some 70s stuff, Steve. You know some 70s stuff.
70s stuff. I remember having like this great picture of me with a suede vest with the fringes and striped, striped like kind of like wide whale cords, but they were like striped different, like juicy fruit, kind of look like a juicy fruit package.
Oh my gosh.
Bell bottoms. And I'm holding my little sister in my lap, and she's got a little tiny fringed, leather vest on too. It's the cutest fucking picture of my sister and my mom. I'm pretty sure they still have it. But like, people used to dress like that, you guys. Like that was like hip.
Yeah.
Like, I look like Davy Jones from the Monkees or something in that picture. It's awesome.
I have not seen this picture. It's all alleged. I cannot verify.
And the only reason I mention is because there's so many other people that I know that also have like weird pictures from that time, from like the 70s, and everybody looks very different. Like all the clothes are very different. It's kind of it's kind of like the 60s and the 90s were very similar. All the like people look the same. Like, there was just like all these, hippie dready looking white people everywhere with tie-dyes on. And it was very, very similar. But the 70s it was different. People had a whole different kind of style going on,
Yeah.
Big collars and
big hair,
skinny ties by the end of it, and just fashion was like huge in the 70s. I guess that's
guys had some interesting stuff. I remember I used to steal my stepdad. He had a pair of they were Levi's bell-bottom corduroys, and they were white. And I would steal them, and I would wear them, and I would get in trouble for taking them. But he didn't wear them; they just sat in his closet. And oh my gosh, I loved it. I loved wearing like I always like loved wearing like vintage clothes. I would go to like church sales and stuff like that just to find like polyester bell bottoms from the 60s and stuff like that. I had quite a weird style, especially in my high school days. Charlie Mack said, "Did anyone ever pay for Columbia House for those records?" No, I don't think so.
No.
Well, the penny.
I owe
right?
Columbia House so much money. I think like a ton of money. honestly.
Yeah, we were like, oh, this scam. I mean, come on.
Really, it was an old fucking scam because that shit started in the 70s and it went all the way to the 90s. And by the end of the 90s, it was just like you knew like lots of people that had hundreds of CDs that were fucking, they had hustled. And it's crazy to think like they could afford to they just made so much money selling fucking people's music because they didn't pay the people for the music. So, profits were good.
Yeah, and think about like what I wonder the propaganda behind that too. Like I can't not think about everything in the way of how did that affect us and what influence did that have on us, because the government they don't do things without having a reason. They don't do it without like a motive.
Sometimes
like
there's unintentional consequences to an agenda, but I don't know if they can plan for every eventuality,
No, I don't. I think they're not that smart either.
No.
There's a lot that's planned but I think that,
and it's not all coordinated.
No, and they're honestly, they're not all that bright. They are psychopaths. They're very bold and they're willing to do a lot of things, but they're really not. I mean, sometimes people act like they're, too smart to be. They're not that smart. I mean, they are doing a lot of this stuff fly by the seat of their pants too.
I think there's probably a lot of people that are really brilliant in those circles, but
for sure,
there's so much mediocrity that's like it's a kind of mediocrity that allows the person who is that mediocre to have these visions of grandeur, like they're super super smart, and you know what I mean, like that kind of outweighs the actual level of fucking quality that they can execute.
For sure. I'm trying to watch Stefania Maruzzi's court case. The journalist.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with her?
I heard
she's been doing a lot of stuff on Assange. She has FOIA requests out. And her court case was today to decide whether or not they would release the information. And it's in Australia.
Yes. Oh, it's on right now?
On that on Twitter.
Yeah, well, you would have had to sign up for the video link. It's like in court, but she's there now. Wow. And I think we should be getting a ruling at any time. Consortium News, of course, is covering it. I love Consortium News. I'm not even joking, Lucky. You know me. Even if you cover Julian Assange, I don't think it's enough.
Yeah,
it's very hard for me to please me on that. You know what I mean? Like I don't care how often you talk about it. I want more. Not with Consortium News. Consortium News covers it. They cover it.
Didn't they just go after them? Didn't they just go after them really hardcore?
So PayPal fucked them over about a month ago. They locked them out of their account. They're no longer allowed to use their account. But when they first got locked out, they also held $10,000. And they said that they might have to confiscate it for damages. How does Consortium News damage PayPal? I don't know. But they were that was the thing. They did actually finally release the money, but PayPal never they're done with they can't use PayPal anymore.
Wow.
I want to know what they're doing when they're holding all of this money for people, because they're making money off of that interest. They're doing it to us. Like we started up through a indie made, so it's like independent. Like we have our own like little website and everything for the stuff that I make to try to sell it. And we're really trying to like put everything that we have into the business and do this. And PayPal is literally holding up the funds, and we're expected to still cover the shipping costs on things while they're holding up people's money. They're holding up our money. And like, it's like some of the things are like $20 here. And like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
$20. Like it might not seem like a lot to other people, but it's a lot when you're, like when $5 of that is shipping and you have, you have to go send out a bunch of stuff. So like, we're in this like limbo right now. They say you have to have,
we have to have a certain amount of sales before they'll just like
10 transactions of a certain amount. Like it's like all these random,
they want a 3-week
unreasonable goals.
They want a 3-week turnaround time if you don't immediately make an invoice and send shipping information and all of that, like right then, and that's the deal. And then like they can just do whatever the fuck they want with your money, and they're gonna hold on to it.
Yeah.
And that's what they say too. They're like, you know, we're gonna hold on to it just so you're, you know, and if anything goes wrong with from your end, you know, and you're okay.
Anything on that case?
No, not yet. Not that I can see. I keep bouncing around between multiple accounts trying to find information. I'm just impatient though. I just keep refreshing.
If you want me to pull something up, if I can, let me know.
There's nothing. I mean, we could pull up Stefani Maruzzi's Twitter page and you can just look at it and keep refreshing. But there's nothing. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing right now.
You're so funny.
I'm going back and forth between that and Consortium News, Kathy Vogan, Joe. Who else am I? Kelly Trainer, a bunch of people. Like I'm just flipping flipping through a bunch of Twitter feeds trying to find information. I could just stay on Stefania since it's her case. I could just stay on Stefania's Twitter page, or I could just wait, be patient, and just understand that it's going to take a while. But no, I'm just going to sit here and keep refreshing.
But that's you, Misty. Like you know, like you said, you know, you get hyper focused on something.
Neuroses, everybody.
That's authentic, though. I mean, honestly, that's you
I don't
know
how to not be like just openly. It's weird.
I remember one day you were talking about how you met a new friend at the gym. And you were like, oh gosh, I don't want to say too much because like I like this person.
Yeah, people ask me what I do, and I'm always like,
yes,
I don't know what to say. I don't know what I like. Literally, I'll just stumble over some words, and then I'll blurt out something about being an activist. And then kind of like try to change the subject because I don't know what the fuck. What do you say? Like crazy cuckoo brains, politically obsessed activist.
You definitely, however you describe it, definitely use crazy cuckoo brains because that's fucking that's like money right there. People are gonna know where you're going. People are gonna understand that.
I know it's so funny because so we have a new neighbor that moved in, and I was like so nervous because like we're in apartments, so like it's like kind of like they're set up like kind of like I guess condos in like a row where we all have upstairs and downstairs and our own front and back entrance like out of our apartments. Like it's it's not there's like no hallway or anything, but so I'm like sitting there. I'm like, oh gosh, I haven't met the new neighbor yet. And I go over and I meet her, and then like she's got like piercings and like stuff like that. I'm like, all right. So she's definitely not like that. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm trying not to like judge her based upon like like all that stuff, but I'm like trying to feel it out. How because when you're right next door to somebody, like you share a wall.
Yeah, man.
And
share a wall that I sit next to and sing real loud.
Yeah.
So it's they're patient, kind people.
So I started, I was like, all right, I'm like, I think it's gonna be okay. I think she seems cool, like I felt more comfortable, like kind of like feeling it out because it's like it's different when it's online and you can be like, fine, whatever, we don't agree. You can be in your own little corner, right?
But when you're in somebody's real life, like when it's like you're in person with you. Yeah, but the gym friend is actually very cool. We still don't we don't talk politics or anything like that. But she loves Nine Inch Nails, which I mean, she's already got 1 million points in my book. She just went to see them in concert. She has a wicked sense of humor. Yeah, I like my new gym friend. I just hope.
That's good.
I mean, she kind of knows what I do, I think. Like, she knows I have a radio show. I don't know if she knows that it's political or that she cares. But, there it is. All my gym friends are nice, actually. I really like my gym. It's a good time.
Gym seems like it really works for you.
I love it. It's hard as fuck. But it does, I do feel a lot better. Like I really do feel, I sleep better. It's a little bit easier to focus.
Nice.
And it like gives me I'm a goal person. You know what I mean? Like I like goals. Because I hyper focus. So I want like a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to have an end goal.
Yeah, and
to
fitness
what it
is a fucking awesome thing to latch onto. You know, like
it's slow. Like it's a slow process, but I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. It's a good time.
It's good for you, you know.
Yeah.
Everything is good within like, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
as long as you don't go to an extreme one.
Well, I mean,
all of a sudden Misty walks in, like, whoa.
Right. No, I am, but I'm a little bit worried about that because I do hyper focus. So I need to like maintain like a realistic approach. But yeah.
What kind of stuff are you doing? Are you doing like yoga stuff and
it's CrossFit
lifting weights?
Actually?
CrossFit.
I know CrossFit's kind of cultish. Everybody was like, but the reason why I like it is because I'm very competitive. Yeah. And it's also very, I like the kind of team mentality aspect around it. Like everybody is there and it's not so much you're competitive with other people necessarily, but it's like you're competing with yourself. And I like that a lot.
And people are helping and bolstering.
And everybody's like, it doesn't matter what level you're at. Like I mean, I've joked about it on Twitter. I'm going in there, like I'm a noob. And I just started in February and I'm going in there to lift with people who've been doing this for like 8 years. You know what I mean? Like the coach guy, I guess, or whatever, the guy that owns the gym is fucking ripped. You know what I mean? Like he is like just ripped. And like, I mean, there's a lot of people in there who are they've been doing it for ages. But it doesn't matter what level you're at. Everybody, that's why because it's not like you against other people. It's you against yourself. So your friends can just cheer you on to do better for yourself. And you know what I mean? It's I like it. It's
I always like that part of sports because
I'm an athlete.
You know, that's the way like I was when I was young, man. Anyway, for a few good 4 or 5 years of playing sports, I was really, really like the most fit I'll probably ever be, and that was just a really good feeling to be able to just like go run, and I could run more than a mile and not die. You know what I mean? Like, and then I started smoking cigarettes and ruined my fucking body basically for the next 40 years. So it's like I understand the idea behind it, like where people are like cheering you on to do and that's a positive fucking thing, man. That camaraderie and community is beautiful no matter where you find it. That's kick ass. Good for you.
Yeah, Lady Alex said that she fucked up her back due to the extreme workouts at the gym for decades. She had a spinal fusion due to that. Yeah, that's what I had on my back, was a spinal fusion. Wow. I have like 4 screws and 3 metal rods. So Lady Alex has that same surgery that I've had. And it's no joke. I wish that we still had like the YMCA. Our YMCA is so awful. Like that's where Skylar went for swim lessons, and like I used to be able to get the scholarship to go there. Yeah, like because like it was easy. It was like, okay, you don't you don't make enough, or it was like $2 an hour for like babysitting. You know what I mean? So like it was like, oh, I can do that. And so like Skylar went to swim lessons there, and like she already knew how to swim. Like they were crazy impressed with her. They were like, all right, well she should really be in this more advanced class. So they put her in like extra swim classes and like showed her off and everything. It was really funny. But I loved it. I loved being able to go there and to do that. And it was right around, it's in our town, but it's been closed for years, and it's just sitting there and it's rotting. And there's like $70,000 owed in taxes on the building.
It's a dope ass building too, man. Some kind of developer with some dough could really make
the Y that we have in my town is actually pretty nice. We don't go to it. But I mean, I've been to it, like my sister-in-law used to work there. Actually, she worked in the babysitting place, the daycare. I don't know. Whatever. But she and so like she would have like my nephew's birthday parties there and stuff like that. So I've been there. Like it's nice. But I just we don't have like a membership or anything. But
Baba Yaga. He's just like Adam Kokesh.
Oh my gosh,
We've
you're
been
gonna
through
get
this,
Misty going.
No, like I don't need to trash him on air. I don't.
No.
It's not.
No,
Obviously
no.
not.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah, I was just saying in good fun because that's just that's
I
funny.
mean,
He's freaking ripped though. Holy shit. He's definitely in good shape on the ranch.
Yeah. Good for him. That's great.
Good.
I kept trying to say, good for you, homie. Like,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing that Seema was just missing from the conversation was like, no, that's awesome for you, but here's what we're doing because
but you're
this
not
is
doing
what
it.
we can
See,
do.
Don't get me started. I don't need to talk about him.
Yeah.
I could easily get dragged into that because that
I
was.
really would love though to have, and I think that it would be amazing for us to have intentional communities where it's, you know, I'm very inclusive. I like to include everybody. I don't care if, you know, if you are disabled and you feel like you don't have enough to contribute, you do have something to contribute because you're a person that's there and that matters and you have knowledge and you know, and I would love to have that for our community. I would love to be able to have one hub place, like let's take back the land that Bill Gates has bought up that he shouldn't be able to have, you know? How about we do that? How about we take that back and we figure things out? I mean,
I'm down with that.
That's the thing is that we can have the realistic goals to meet that kind of thing and have a plan to do it, you know, but we can't just up and say, we're doing it, you know, and then like,
and you can't like trash people for not being there yet and for not, you know, and it's not that easy. You're not that disconnected. You know, you're still on the internet, homie.
That's
you know, like that was just a very I should have kept my cool, honestly. I should have just
I think you did keep your cool.
I tried. I honestly did.
I felt like you really kept your cool.
I thought you were very fucking level-headed and very diplomatic about the way that you were trying to express it, like, you know, not be insulting at all and just like understand this is the thing that's happening and try to explain it in those terms. And he was just unwilling. He just thought you were talking over him or whatever. It was just
people who completely don't have the same
silly.
It's like, no, dude, that's good for you.
I don't have a friend that has a ranch or the income to just go off grid. Like right now I'm trying to just make sure that I can keep my electric bill on. And you know, like if things were different, I would have that, you know.
And it's great that he's able to accomplish that, but that the whole just tearing everybody else down, like, oh, did you buy cigarettes from the gas station, Andrew? Are you paying to drone me? Come on, dude. You just traveled to the LP conference. You're telling me you didn't pay to fly? You didn't pay for a hotel room? You didn't pay to drive around while you were there? You're not like that. You're not
you're not living completely off the land. Like you're not invisible to the system.
But still, the condescension and just
that was the problem I had was just the way that he was saying those words. Like the idea is like, okay, that's totally cool for you to think that everybody can do better and do it more like you're doing it, but understand that not everybody's going to be able to do that. You can't have everybody do anything. You know what I mean? It's just, it's just because they're
gonna pick us off first, grandiose. And they will.
He just came off sounding kind of, you know,
look at what they did to the Native Americans. I mean, like, does he think that eventually that they are not going to come for the people on the ranches? No, they're gonna pick us off. They're gonna pick us off first, and then they're gonna come there and do that.
But I understand his confidence. He's like, I'm just a sovereign dude, man. I'm just not.
And I understand the passion and wanting everyone to be able to do that. We want that. We want that too. We want to be not part of the system, and we want to find ways to always break away from the system and to do it, but we don't have the means in other ways. And if you do have the means, that means that you got those in some way that was part of that system. What got you to that part? You know what I mean? Like it's all rigged. There's
this thing that we're doing right here is being as subversive as we possibly can with the tiny little platform that we have. So this, you know what I mean? We're trying to do and make people aware of things that are important to us and important in general. And like, until we can do better than that, then, you know, we're just gonna keep striving to go forward. And if that's like defeatist in his eyes, I don't know. He has it way better than I do.
Trey Wright said, "You kept your cool. I would have punched him through the phone screen."
I know.
Trey,
it's very protective.
Yes, yes, I do too.
I mean, honestly, to start off the show, hey, I really love your work, but you're doing it wrong. You're not effective. I could do it better. I've done it better. Like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, that was
happening
rough.
here.
Sorry, yeah. I lost my bootstraps. Like,
I mean, shit. If you can do it better, then do it. Like, you're just chilling out your rant. See, you guys got me started talking about it. We don't need to talk about it.
Let's not do that.
But I mean, we can't talk about how we can make the goals. Like, you are very goal oriented, and so we can make the goals to what is the best way that we can possibly move towards things in a, you know what I mean, in a positive way. You know, like, that's what we need to focus on. We can't focus on the whole entire. I mean, we can look at the whole bigger picture of what, you know, like what we want our end goal to be, but we can't just
we have to, you know,
jump off the cliff and say it's going to happen. And I have faith in that.
You have to be realistic. Absolutely.
Yeah. Everyone takes baby steps towards it. And eventually,
everyone's on their own journey. And it's, you know, we have to have those conversations with people and get them to, you know, I'm not just trying, I would like to, you know, bring other people along. I don't want to just be by myself.
Right.
You know,
Lady Alex,
I think that's the reason that I wanted to, you know, that I even brought it up, was basically the fact that I agree with the idea that you have to have these conversations with people, no matter who they are, no matter how pretentious they may come off sounding when you talk to them. You know what I mean? These things have to be done, and everybody should be doing them as much as they possibly can, and making information known that needs to be known.
While we still can.
While we still fucking can. Exactly.
We're running out of that time pretty quick. So, yeah.
And it's not a matter of like us like trying. I mean, I don't think anybody's trying to be, you know, like to be a negative within, you know what I mean? Like, I think everybody honestly that we have in our community is trying to do better. I believe that, you know, like, and we got to help each other and figure out ways to get there together.
Yeah.
And realize that everybody's got their own thing. Like, I try really hard not to criticize anybody else's approach. I kind of break that with electoral politics, because I genuinely believe that is a monumental waste of time, money, energy, resources. Yep. But I don't really begrudge, like, I don't begrudge people who are still running for office. I don't begrudge like independents and stuff like that. But if you're trying to get people into the Democratic or the Republican Party right now, I just can't.
I'm not for electoral. Like, it's just that's one thing is that, I have come to the understanding and the realization that, I'm definitely not for electoral politics. And I try not to participate in certain parts of the system. And I do that as much as I can in every way that I possibly can within my control, where I'm not like, you know, suffering myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want convenience off of the suffering of anybody else. Like, I try to always think about that, the consequences of the choices that I make. But sometimes I still go and buy gas and put it in my van, you know, because I still need it to get, you know, we still got to get Skylar to work and get her to school, you know, like we still have to do those things. So it's, none of us are perfect. It's just striving to do the best that we possibly can with what we have at the time and make the best decisions that we can, and know that, you know, we're really trying, and that's what really, you know, it's better than doing the opposite. You know, and try to bring people in that may, you know what I mean, like, that aren't at your level. It's like you, like with the people at, you know, your friends at the gym, and my new neighbor that I'm like, you know, super excited about. I'm like, yay, like, she seems informed, and you know what I mean, like you don't just go and go, oh yeah, blah, I am a political commentator and I start trouble on Twitter every day.
No, you can't. You absolutely cannot. You have, I mean, but
it would be overwhelming for people.
Yeah,
it's too much.
Entering into those conversations and exposing people to that information, I think, is crucial.
But you can't do it all at once.
You can't educate people. I cannot disagree. I don't know who that was. I just saw that. Lady Alex. We cannot educate the information. I disagree so much, respectfully, of course. I disagree so much because, yes, the information is out there, but how are people supposed to come across it if we don't have those conversations? I can't tell you the number of times I've entered into conversation with people who knew nothing about Julian Assange. And because I was willing to have that conversation with them, they became informed and are now supporters. So, yes, we can absolutely educate. Just because the information's already out there doesn't mean somebody's going to go find it. If you bring it to them, you're educating.
I think that's the whole pertinent part of the conversation. It's a long conversation about a lot of fucking different things when you're meeting someone and talking about things that are relevant that you want to share with people. You know what I mean? I have about 97 points in my head that I want to make sure I get across to people. You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes you just kind of pick and choose what you can talk about and in the time that you have.
And you have to feel people out and kind of get it. Like how far can I push them? How, you know what I mean? And I think that's a valuable skill too, is learning how to, inch people into information in a way that won't overwhelm. That's a real skill.
I agree. It takes a lot of tact and patience and
it's overwhelming for us, and we're knowledgeable about what's happening and who's doing it to us. So imagine trying to put all that on to somebody else. Like, it's not really fair. It's not really fair for it's like you have to. It's like a child doesn't learn everything in one day. You know, like
nobody does.
And
whether
so
you're an adult or a child, you can't retain. You can only retain so much information. You can learn a big thing, at least or a couple big things a day, and if you can get your head around those things,
I mean, because like
pretty good.
We're not talking light things here. You know what I mean? We're talking we're talking heavy stuff.
That's what I mean. And just explaining about Julian
we want to support you
Assange
through
sitting
this
in jail.
Too, you know
what I mean? Just like that whole story. It's got it's just soul sucking. Trying to
because it's not just what's happening to him. It's all the stuff he's exposed, the war crimes and the rape and the torture,
what it means to everyone. That part.
The ripple effect of it. It's that like he might be the pebble that dropped in that in that smooth water, and he caused that ripple effect. But all those ripples and the ripples that are going to keep going. It's like taking a handful of rocks and throwing it in a still pool, and then being like, oh yeah, here you go.
That's a good metaphor for WikiLeaks.
And
it's just
exactly what
that's basically what he did. He took and it was such a big, it wasn't just like a cannonball. You know what I mean? It was like, I'm going to give you all of this. And now imagine trying to like absorb all of that information.
There's no way.
Like,
it's not possible.
I'm like,
there's
I
stuff
still don't like.
And there's stuff that I haven't even read. I mean, there's no way one single human being could go through all of it. You know what I mean? It would take years and years and years and years and years. I mean, there's so much, millions of documents,
and that's why our community is so important, because everybody knows enough about everyone kind of has like these really strong strong suits. You know what I mean? Like if we're going to be talking election integrity, we know who we're going to talk to, right? Like we know that. If I have a question about Assange, I know who I'm talking. I'm going to talk to Misty.
I don't want to be anybody's go-to, though. Warren said that the other day. You're my go-to on Assange. I don't want to be anybody's go-to, honestly.
But you are. You would with Boykin and you, because you guys are fucking.
I mean, I'll talk about it. Don't get me wrong.
But you would also say, I don't know. You would be humble enough to say, I don't know if you didn't know. And you would be able to point me in the direction of where to go.
That's the key.
You know what I mean? That's the thing, is that we can, from there, we have the resources with each other. And that's something that's so amazing in our community, because people do focus on the different parts of it too. That really makes a big difference.
Yeah. 100%. Yes. But I mean, the WikiLeaks stuff is holy balls, so much stuff. And honestly, we're going to be connecting dots from that. And I know that's such like a cliche term, but we're going to be connecting dots from WikiLeaks for decades. There will be stories that come out 25, 30 years from now, and we'll be able to look back at WikiLeaks and be like, oh, holy shit. Yeah, there you go. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of that. I mean, there's going to be stories coming out of just the stuff that they've released so far. There will be stories coming out of that for, decades to come, for sure. No question about it.
Oh, what did you do a video on, Trey? You said you did a video today. Yeah, and I wrenched you. I wrench everybody so everybody can drop links and share and follow everybody.
Yes,
we like to really encourage that and make sure everybody knows that's what we're we're here to do also is, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. If you guys want to drop links and share what's happening, I wrench everybody because I don't want YouTube to censor anybody,
You're
and
like
I don't
Oprah with the wrenches. You get a wrench and you get a wrench.
Yes.
Look under your seat.
Jilly.
Oh, hi, Jilly. I didn't even notice Jilly was here. Hi.
Jilly just came in.
Jilly.
We have Jared Brown. Do you have
tea?
Does everybody have a wrench?
Jim Young is I'm sitting here stretching and I think I'm stuck.
Uh-oh.
Somebody
Send help! I'm falling.
It's a lot like our democracy,
Yes. Oh my gosh! Remember we have that.
Here. Hi, Rob. Oh, I love Rob.
Oh, Rob Juno's the
hey,
man.
I didn't forget your package, homie. I've just been a little busy.
Oh my gosh! That Rob sounds. My dad passed away like a year and a half ago, and he sounds identical to my dad. So whenever I hear his voice, it's like this special little nugget. I feel like I hear that. I don't know. It's my dad was a burly beer drinking mountain man. I don't know. Their voices are almost identical.
That's funny.
It's so great. I love it.
That is great. I love Rob.
Like an Alaskan wizard.
Rob is the best.
So you have
Alaskan ganja wizard.
You have an event coming up, right?
We're going to Freedom Fest. Let's go.
You should tell us.
So excited. Okay, so Freedom Fest is, I honestly don't really know what it is. I know it's like this is the first time I've ever really heard about it. So what happened is Eliza Blue is going. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
Yeah.
She's going to Freedom Fest. She had tweeted about it, and Kendra, who is one of the people that I've been organizing with for years, saw Eliza's tweet, sent it, and we have a little group DM with a few of us ladies who are in the Assange world. That we bounce ideas off of each other and stuff. And she sent it to me or she sent it to us and she was like, hey, and this again, here goes my crazy. But she was like, hey, this looks like it might be cool. We could set up an exhibitor table or whatever and talk to people about Julian Assange. And within 3 hours, I already had the GoFundMe set up and I had the application filled out and I had we're going. I was already ready. Yeah. We're going.
That's
so
awesome.
Now we're full force into that. So I guess it's some kind of libertarian-esque sort of event. There's a lot of I can pull up this list of speakers and tell you some of the people. Let's see. So I know Glenn Greenwald's going to be there. Eliza Blue's going to be there. Oh, hold on. Helps if I click the right link. Speakers. So I think that we're going to find a lot of very like-minded people who are perhaps just unaware of what's happening with Julian Assange that I think that we could get engaged. So Kennedy from Fox News is going to be there. Justin Amash, Glenn Greenwald, Spike Cohen from the Libertarian Party, Dave Smith from the Libertarian Party. Let's see. Some of these people I don't really know. Rand Paul's going to be there. I would like to have a conversation with Rand Paul, please. If anybody knows Rand Paul, I would like to have a conversation with Rand Paul, please. If he could give me 5 minutes.
Putting that out into the universe.
I'm putting it out there. I would just I'm not going to be an asshole. I get people think that I'm an asshole. I have no intention of being an asshole. I would just like to have 5 minutes of his time. That's all.
I think you do fine.
Yeah.
I don't. He's an ally.
I find it refreshing when people are honest and just
he'd be an engaging person to fucking talk to, man. Honestly, I think
I'll talk to anybody
about how much he supports free speech, but won't mention Julian Assange. Right. I just want to know, and I would like to encourage him to stop being a coward. because I know that's what it is. These politicians want to get reelected. They want to protect their, positions of power and all of that stuff.
It would bring so many people over to wanting to support him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that they realize that how frustrated people are if politicians actually started to look outside of their bubble and realize what the people, if they actually started paying attention to what the people wanted, they could have an amazing career. They could be beloved.
Like, no, we don't want that to catch on.
They could be beloved, but they don't.
Yes. Well,
So,
self-protection. I don't know. Cowardice, I think, is a little bit of it. Listen, I get it. You're going up against the most powerful people on earth. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have time for, I don't want to be an asshole about it. I would just like to impress upon him how crucial it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to ask him.
I don't think that people might think that Assange is going to come out and just completely release or change the world with more. I don't think that that's the case. No. I don't think he has it in him. They have harmed him. Changed. He's changed.
There's no way he comes out of this the same dude he was that he went. It's just not possible. After more than a decade of psychological torture and 3 years in a supermax facility, essentially in solitary confinement, pseudo solitary confinement for nearly 3 years.
The guy probably just wants to live out his fucking life. Yeah. Just let him live out his life. I bet you would you just let him go.
I would be fine, honestly.
Let him.
I have no expectations of Julian Assange if we manage to get him out. I have zero expectations of Julian Assange. None. I don't expect him to do anything. Huh?
I just seen Case Study QB said, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey,
Case,
what's up, fam? So Kyle Anzalone's going to be there too. I'm really excited. Damn. Kyle has been coming on my show every Monday at 3 p.m. To talk foreign policy. So I'm going to get to meet him in person.
And that's on the radio show, right?
Yes. Nice. There's a bunch of other cool people that I wanted to. I think Connor Freeman. Oh, Eliza Blue. Obviously, I already said that. I'm really excited to meet her in person too. Let's see. I want to say Connor Freeman was going, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, where is this one at?
This one's in Vegas. I think it's at the Mirage.
Nice.
So they have
everything's in Vegas. I want to go.
Steve and Pasta are there too. So I think they're trying to get media passes to Freedom Fest. So they're gonna go too, and that'll be awesome. They can lend a hand with the Assange stuff as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this could be really cool, and we can hand out a lot of information. I would like to try to get some Nils Melzer books if I can. In time. I don't know if Verso books will work with me on it, but I would like to get a bunch of Nils Melzer books. And I mean, if they want me to sell them, fine. Give them away would be even cooler, because I would like to have that in the hands of as many people as possible, because it's a really good book. Yeah, Connor Freeman is going to be there, which is exciting.
Well, maybe I can help with some art type stuff. I make the little magnets that I make.
Oh yeah.
That I put Assange's face on, and I do.
If you can make them and get them to me in time, absolutely.
When is it that you're going?
So it's the first day of it is the 13th, which I think is a Wednesday. So I'll probably have to go out on Tuesday, because it starts at 8 a.m. on Wednesday. So I'll probably have to leave and get out there on Tuesday, so I can just wake up and go the next day.
Are Pasta and Steve going to be there too?
So they live there, they live pretty close to where it's being held. So yeah,
because I was thinking if I send it there to them, you know what I mean. If I can get something together, I will try. If I can get something together, because they have the boxes. It can't be that much to ship when they have the boxes that are based on flat rate. You know what I mean? And I probably have the supplies to do most of it. So I'll try to make some cool. Okay. Giveaway, just little Assange things or whatever, just to, because sometimes people having something physical will help remind them.
I have little mini flashlights that I have left over from April. I think I have some magnets, the square It says truth is freedom. I don't know if you saw that logo that Bean did for the April event, but it's like Assange. And then underneath it's got like fighter jets and stuff. I don't know. It's pretty cool. But it says truth is freedom, free Assange. So I think I need to check because I'm not positive what I came home with, honestly. But I had some square magnets. I had some square stickers with that same logo. And then I know I have some leftover. They're like those little like keychain flashlights. And it says truth is freedom, free Assange. I have shirts left over from April as well. So I'm going to take those and get rid of the rest of those.
Maybe you can do like a gift basket raffle or something.
Maybe.
You know, have a donation thing out there too to help cover your costs. You know what I mean? Because people will donate.
We may not have to. I don't want to say anything yet, but we may not have to do that. We may not have to. When I have more information, I'll clear that up for you. But we may not have to worry about covering costs. Maybe. We shall see.
That would be amazing.
That's fucking amazing. Yeah. Rock on.
That would be really, really awesome.
I guess I can TNT.
Can I fit in a box of magnets and things?
I know. Can I send I'll send Leo out, you know, like can you imagine if I was out there with Leo? Oh my gosh. We would have everybody.
Sweater or something to wear.
Oh my god, he needs a little one. Oh my gosh.
A little like whistle hat. He could be a little whistleblower. Oh, that would be so cute.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do something in real life where we can have him wear stuff because oh my gosh. Yeah.
RLU.
I know, in real life.
Yeah.
I think that's so awesome. You got to meet Trey down in DC. Yeah, I'm so excited.
I love meeting the fams in real life. It's like my favorite thing in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've got like people are like, Twitter's not real life. And I'm like, really? Because I've met, I don't know, probably 50, 60 people from Twitter now.
That's awesome.
Seems pretty real to me.
Right?
Those are my real friends. Like we hang. Yeah, I mean, that's not an exaggeration. I would say probably 50 to 60 people, probably more.
That's
honestly.
Fantastic.
Probably more because I mean, our average event, not everybody is like a Twitter person. And I honestly don't meet everybody that's there. And there's no way I could remember everybody either. Especially not names. Forget it. I'm terrible at names.
Dude, I know. Me too.
Terrible.
I played in a band for 25 years and people would be like, hey, Steve, hey, and hey.
Here is.
I can't remember your name.
Here is our.
Ever. You know? Like no one.
Oh, are you going to show up? He doesn't show up sometimes on screen. Oh, there he is.
Nice.
He's a ninja.
There he is.
Ninja kitty. Oh, look at that face. He's like.
It's like again with the camera. Really?
Cats are always just so pissed, right?
They're all just so put out. He just looks so put out.
Yeah, I know. He's so
look at him. Look at him. Like, bitch, leave me alone.
He's purring. See how green his eyes are?
They look like they're pissed. Yeah.
His eyes are so green. He's so funny. So,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, our neighbors.
Where's Jack?
Jack.
So Leo like raised Everett, and it's really funny because Everett was like this tiny little like fur ball, you know, and Leo's only 7 pounds, so he's not very big. And I kept telling Leo, I'm like, that cat's gonna get bigger than you. That cat's gonna get bigger than you. The cat is what was it, 18 or 19 pounds? He's huge. Oh, yeah. And yeah, he totally messes with Leo. He totally.
That's funny. Oh, hey, Chad. Chad's here. Hi, Chad. Oh, Jilly. Okay, so Jilly wants to know about Pompeo. Okay, so I will explain this because it's very key. So former CIA Director Mike Pompeo has been summoned by a Spanish court to discuss the, I don't know if you are familiar with, everybody's familiar with the article that came out in September at Yahoo News that detailed 30 plus named and unnamed sources from inside intelligence who admitted to and disclosed that there were a lot of different plans, what they called sketches, in ways that they could either kidnap or assassinate Julian Assange. Mm-hmm. So this is part of the UC Global case. So holy shit, there's so much information to explain all of this, but this is part of the UC Global case. The UC Global case is a Spanish security firm from Spain, obviously, was hired by the Ecuadorian embassy to do security for the embassy, the physical building, as well as the president and the president's family, specifically his kids. And so eventually, once there was a change in leadership at Ecuador, they were co-opted by the CIA and funded by Sheldon Adelson in order to spy on Julian Assange and everybody that came to visit him there, including the conversations that he had with his legal team. This goes as far as to they put microphones in the women's bathrooms. So that's all part of this case. So Mike Pompeo has been summoned sometime in the month of June. I've been unable to find a specific date that he's been given to testify. He will probably not testify. He's going to try to avoid this.
Of course.
As much as, so the UC Global case has been ongoing for some time. There are multiple countries involved in this: France, Germany, Ecuador, Sweden, a bunch of people. They've all been very cooperative. The US and the UK, not so much.
Not so much.
Not so much. So that's why it's been dragged out. It's been ongoing for months, and this is part of it. Mike Pompeo is going to try to weasel his way out of this or delay it or all of that stuff. He has been summoned to testify there, but obviously he'll probably testify via video link if he does testify at all. But that could be significant and it should be significant. It's fucking crazy that anybody is considering extraditing Julian Assange to a country that was plotting to murder him. That just doesn't make any sense. We don't do that. That's not a thing that we do. Shouldn't do anyway.
I know. There's
up.
So many things. But that's also, on the top of the list. It's pretty obvious. It's a pretty obvious thing.
Not only were they plotting to murder him, they were also spying on him, including conversations with his legal team. That means he absolutely cannot get a fair trial. No. Cannot. It's not possible.
Yeah, it's a mistrial.
Spying on you and your legal conversations, the ability to have a fair trial is over. There is no going back. So yes, it's the height of absurdity. I can't believe it's gotten this far, but the idea that it's gotten this far and nobody gives a shit is really depressing.
Well, you think that's the deal though? The CIA is just like thumbing their nose at everybody, like, suck a dick. We ain't you can't fuck with us. Fuck you.
Yes, and they're using Julian Assange as the proverbial head on a stake. He's the warning for everybody else. This is meant to create a chilling effect across investigative journalism, geopolitical journalism, and specifically, and also across whistleblowing. It's been very effective. It's not about Julian Assange. Yes, they want to silence him. Yes, he is the GOAT of journalism. It's not up for debate. It's not up for debate. Yes, 100%. But
at this point, it's just like it's setting an example for anybody else.
It's just
because they know
I say so. TNT let me record some spots, like little ad spots, kind of talking about, because they're really they're unbelievably supportive of my work around Julian Assange. There may be actually some changes to my show so that I can do more focused work surrounding activism, which I'm really excited about. We're in talks about how to figure all that out. But yeah, so they're very supportive. And so they let me record a couple different spots that they play for free. They've let me advertise our Assange events that we've done for free. They're dope as far as that goes. Yeah, they're seriously super.
That's really awesome to hear. It's always good to hear when you're actually getting, you know what I mean, like that positive community.
They get it.
That's fucking dope.
Yes. They get it.
That's
awesome. Mike is conservative. He's an Australian, but he's kind of conservative. But we're friends. We are good friends. He respects my work. He respects what I do. He's my boss. He's never told me what to cover. He's never told me what to talk about. He totally loves the stuff I do as far as activism goes. That's why we're kind of in talks to do potentially, instead of doing a talk show, doing more focused shows, and having panel discussions about big issues and that kind of thing. So that's amazing. But they're so dope. They're so seriously how support. Listen, you know, if you support Assange, it makes me pretty happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody should. And everybody should, unless you're evil.
A bigger voice and a more focused thing like that is that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's not even if Assange leaves and walks free, that doesn't mean first off he shouldn't even be in there to begin with.
No.
You know, and that it just blows my mind. It blows my mind how twisted that gets. And how so many people don't know.
Yeah.
That whole Pompeo
it just
connection
shows.
is just that is just as grimy as it comes, just like, as you know, that's gross. You know what I mean? Just to just be that pompous and arrogant, like, just of that agency can just do whatever the fuck it wants because it runs the fucking world, and
it does. And that's what we're up against. We need to be honest with ourselves.
And that's what we need to do. Like, when we say we need to tackle these systems, that's what we're talking about all the time, is that these systems are wrong. They're not working for us. They're working for the wrong,
they
wrong direction.
These are evil motherfuckers.
They are driving this fucking bus. And
evil.
And it's overwhelming to know all the things that we know about them. And it makes me want to just go, yeah, I'll stick my head in the sand and be an ostrich and just completely ignore it. Like, yeah, I wish that I could do that sometimes. I can't though. I can't, because you can't unknow things, like the way that, my brain works. I can't unknow things, like, and I'm just always I'm always seeking like the truth. I want to know all the information about all the things. And especially in this community, I find that now I question things as time has gone on. I question things even more. I'm more challenging on things. I want sources of things. I want, like I'm always seeking that actual source evidence and not just taking something for what it is.
Spoiled me. Fam, to me, that's the most valuable thing you can offer. Because, and I talk about this all the time, because to me, it's what journalism should be, because what WikiLeaks provides is not opinion. There's no like talking heads screaming at each other. It's not conjecture. It is just 100% verifiable, authenticated source documentation, black and white. Here's the evidence. You read it, you decide. And that's so nice. It's delicious. You know what I mean? Like, that's great.
It is.
It's refreshing.
It's a thing that keeps on giving.
It's refreshing.
It will never get old.
What have we been fed our entire lives? Like, we're
deceived from birth till to death. So
think about it. I mean,
to have something that's kind of pure in that way is
as simple as
amazing.
Your Santa Claus, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything if you have little ears around anybody, but think about the process of that and what we do to the children.
Yeah.
We literally fool kids into believing that it's okay that somebody surveils you. They see you when you're sleeping. They know what you're doing. They know like everything about you, and that's okay somehow. Like we have been indoctrinated and set up, and as parents, we've fallen for it, and it's like, oh yeah, you don't want to, like, everybody kind of goes along with it because it's like you don't want to be the one that, like, accidentally tells the truth, you know. And it's like, until we stop operating in that way and people start having that courage to say, no, I'm not going to continue to teach my children or my grandchildren or the next generations. I'm not teaching them that anymore. I'm breaking that. I'm breaking that mold. I'm saying no more. That's not happening because it's wrong. And so, like, we lie to them and then we reward them with presents, like, for being lied to. And it's like, we wonder why, like, we're conditioned the way we are. It's like, it's everywhere, and we have to question everything.
Yeah, the insidious lying culture thing is just everywhere and built into our lives.
I mean,
like,
why do we
like it or not, or embrace it or not? You know what I mean? Like, I understand everybody's, like, position on that sort of thing, but it just seems like it's, this stuff's been planned for us to feel this way and to think that way, and to do what you're doing and actually speak out is systematically being bred out of people. So cheers.
We tortured some folks.
Yes. I know, I saw that. I'm like, oh god, yes.
Some folks.
That
do.
But he said it in such a nice, kind way. Like, and I go back and I think I'll hear something like that, and I'll think like, oh my gosh, I know that I've repeated some stupid ass fucking shit when I really wasn't as politically aware of what really was happening. Like when I was more indoctrinated, like I said stupid shit like, oh yeah, well at least at least there was nice tweets. Like what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Like, I think how is this narrative something that was okay in anybody's brain?
I'm 54, and I think all of the things are bound to come out. I'm still saying stupid shit. You know, it's still gonna happen. Like, and jumble.
You know what's so? I was just thinking about this the other day because when I was a kid, I thought grown-ups like knew what they were doing.
Yes, so did I.
We don't.
I have no idea what we're doing.
That's
when I
another
was like
thing.
10, 11, 12, I really thought my mom had her shit together. She did not have her shit together. Not at all.
It's like implied though, right? It's implied. Like, oh yeah, they're fine. Mom and dad drinking a lot. Does that look like they're wow no, they're fine.
We're just putting on a show, pretending like we got our shit together, acting like we know what we're doing. We don't have a fucking clue. Not a clue.
And I'm honest with my daughter about that. You know, like she's 18 now, but like, you know, like I'm very honest with her about it. Like, yeah, like their shit's fucked up. And like she's aware of what's happening. And like her friends are completely
oblivious.
A lot of them, like, you know, oblivious to it. And she'll educate people and but at the same time it's like I get why, you know, the same thing. It always goes back to like, you know, our friends as adults, like we don't, it's so much and it's so overwhelming and to try to like God, like it's just it can become to the point where it's like no wonder people like completely stick their heads in the sand and act as though everything is fine. I get why they do it sometimes now. I understand that. I understand where that's at. But for me, it's like I say a lot that we need to make peace with truth. And the way that we're going to get something better is by addressing the actual issues. And if we don't address the issues, then we're contributing to the problem by not addressing the issues. Like we can't just step out of the system and just say, okay, yeah, no, now I you know, we have to
shift in consciousness. That's what we need. Caitlin Johnstone talks about that all the time. It's not just about reforming systems. Like we need to evolve consciously, like, and realize that there's, you know, better ways to do things and that we can all work harmoniously on the planet. I know that sounds very hippie and but that's to me that should be the end goal. We should be working towards having a society where we can
all. But why is the hippies of like why is that looked down upon as having like free love and or having, you know, having peace and all of
we
this?
Haven't
like
reached that consciousness yet, Lucky. There hasn't
we
been that
need
shift
that
yet
though.
Before.
Like
so we do absolutely,
but we need to not push it away and like make it like, oh yeah, well it's all hippie dip. Well, you know what? Honestly, that sounds like freaking. It sounds great to me.
Sounds like common sense.
Why is that not the goal? I mean, seriously, why is the goal not that we use our words to solve our problems instead of blowing people up for profit? Well, can we just try?
We can make more money off of bullets.
Can we? I mean, can we just do that for a little? Like, let's just try just for a little bit and just see what happens. Let's just see what happens.
Let's just try it for one war.
I mean,
okay, one war.
Like, how about like we practice what we teach our children? Right? We teach our children to be truthful. Yeah. Why?
Your friends, and then the people in power blow other people up for profit.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, honestly, it's so mind blowing to me that that's the way that we run society, like culturally, that we're all accepting of that. It's very strange to me that we're okay with children sleeping on the street and starving to death while, you know, Jeff Bezos buys another yacht. The fact that anybody's okay with society being structured that way is very strange to me. It's very bizarre. And it's the year 2022.
It's crazy.
Still blowing people up for profit. Like
it's absolutely fucking
people
bonkers.
Have more than one home when people don't have a first home.
It's just weird. I mean, listen, I'm not like I'm fine with people being successful. I'm fine with people, you know. But it's just weird that we're willing to structure society in a way that is so exploitative, and that is so you know. It's just it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't.
To me too. If things were just a bit more even across the board, you know what I mean? So the wealth inequity wasn't so vast that people can't come up and people have to sleep on the fucking side of the road.
The
like
great
it's
thing
not
about
that fucking
humanity,
hard.
And honestly, it is a really impressive accomplishment, and we should be extremely proud of it. I mean, obviously we don't have like a reference point, so who knows, like, you know, how great we really are.
Right.
But it really is quite the achievement that we have 100%, no question about it. We have evolved to the point collectively as a species to where we could 100% absolutely provide a basic standard of living for everyone. Everyone could have a house. Everyone could have clean air and water.
Money is a fake concept. Money is a fake concept.
It's all made up. We could absolutely do that. It is a choice. We are choosing not to conduct ourselves that way, and that's just sad to me. It just makes me sad that we haven't evolved past the need for greed and war and corruption. It's just, you know,
that's what I mean. Like that basic. It all starts from like the moment we're born. You know what I mean? And respect for life. You know what I mean? In general, of plants and animals and other things that are alive. If we all went into our life understanding that we're all equal on the same plane and we're all on the same planet and we're all living together, so we're all actually one thing. If we could get closer to that, just a little bit closer, and make things a little bit more even, so people recognize like the value of life.
Like, I don't want to go full on fucking Amish and shit, but fuck, man, they got that fucking shit going.
We don't have to.
You know, we don't have to.
Indigenous nations.
We can have that, but also have modern day things. But we can live in that full. It's the way in which they live. It's the way in which everybody is part of something.
Potentially,
it doesn't matter, and it's a collective that we do better. We all do better.
If everybody, honestly, that's what's so frustrating. People don't understand. If we take care of everybody, crime goes down, drug and alcohol abuse goes down, domestic violence goes down, all of those things. Like
everybody does better.
Everybody up. People can participate more in society because they're not in destructive poverty. It really does help all of us, and it's so frustrating that people can't see that really does improve life for everyone. And that why is that not the goal? I'm a human. I want other humans to be okay too. I don't, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it really is just so frustrating.
That's what I mean. That value of your fellow person and your fellow life form, you know, just like think about it that way. If everybody
people need to
thought
watch
about
the
it
Pale
that
Blue
way.
Dot. That's what changed my life. Like, seriously, that Carl Sagan, that's my Twitter name, Sarcasm Stardust, comes as it's an homage to Carl Sagan.
Right.
Because he said we're all made of stardust. He's absolutely right. And then I'm very sarcastic. My family always says that I'm made of stardust. I came from the sarcasm star. So that's where that comes from. But Pale Blue Dot, when I saw that when I was a kid, it still, like, to this day gives me chills and like makes me a little teary eyed because he's absolutely like no one human being is better than or deserves more than any other one human being. We all, and I'm not even religious, I'm an atheist, but spiritually it's very we've been given this really cool opportunity as a species to live on this rock and to experience life and to you know what I mean, like it's a really cool and we choose to spend it hating each other, being violent with each other, blowing each other up, exploiting each other, pushing each other down. It makes me sad. Like what a great opportunity, and we waste it. We don't deserve it, honestly. We've wasted it. We have fucked it up so hard.
We have fucked it really
have. Great opportunity, and we could not have fucked it up worse.
But you know, the thing about this planet is how healing it is. It can heal itself, man. It doesn't need us.
It's fine. Once we're gone, it'll be just fine.
Yep.
It'll be just fine.
Yeah, like, and the planet's not dying. The planet's being killed. Like, people are trying to, but it's going to survive. I think we are already on planet B. I think this is planet B.
Planet B.
I don't think that we're on planet A. I think that we already were on planet A and we ended up on planet B. And I think that that's like that's why I feel like, I don't know. I always say, like, you know, I know what, I call him Pokemon, Steve. Pokemon. I call him Pokemon. I always say, like, I know he likes to say that we're in a cartoon, but I feel like we're in the zombie apocalypse. Like, that's what I always think of, like, because it's like everybody just they're in this ravenous mode of like me. And then there's us over here going like, wait, no, if we work collectively together, we can, you know what I mean? Like, and we're fighting against these zombies. And it's so hard because they have such hyper focus on something that's completely like destructive. And we're like, no, we really want to collectively have a better society for all of us. Yeah. And I feel like oh my gosh, like I see people, I see like the far extreme, right? Like the extreme of the right and how far they go with things. And then I see the other far extreme of that. And I'm like, I'm not like on either side of that. I think there's a little bit of common sense on each end of what, you know what I mean? Like whatever the topic is, I'm like, I can see a little bit on either side of that. And if people could just stop the fighting and the malicious, like, just acting like a freaking brain-eating zombie for a freaking second.
It's hard to have a nuanced conversation with a zombie. I think what you're trying to say.
Zombies lack nuance.
They do. They're,
that's a shirt. We need that as a shirt. Zombies. We need a shirt that says zombies lack nuance.
Shirt, I will buy it. I also need a shirt that says I deserve better trolls. I decided. I need
you do.
I need to make a list. I need to own a shirt company. I'm not joking. I've been kind of half joking about it for a couple months now. I really want to own have a co-op where I can make all of our merch because I love shirts, you guys.
We can do that. We can have Steve will do that. Like, let's do it.
We could work together, certainly.
Yeah, that would be so awesome.
Like shirt making equipment is like thousands of dollars.
Yes.
So that would be the problem.
Basically having another person, a shop or something involved locally could work. You know what I mean? That's sort of thing.
We all need we need a hub. That's why we need a community. Can you imagine if all of the activists and all the amazing people that we had, were actually in one area?
Everybody was brainstorming together.
Oh boy.
Can you imagine? Not in the same house, right? We don't have to be in the same house. I wouldn't want that.
We'd cause a wormhole or something.
Yeah, that would be bad. That's a lot of big personalities and a lot of very strong opinions to be in one house.
Yeah, I don't even think half of those
community.
But if we had, I really want to figure out a way where we can because everybody has in our community, we have people that are amazing with growing and plants, and we have amazing tech people. We have people that do all the different things, and then there's kids that need to be raised. There's the nurturers, and and when you have that kind of community too. I always go back to think of the Amish or the Mennonites or whatever, the way that they work together, and they all have their own spaces. They all have their own houses. It doesn't have to be a religious thing. You know what I mean? I'm not religious.
No, not at all.
But just being able to have the other people in a community and I think it would be,
we're going to need
it would be amazing.
Maybe we can get a decent state like Arkansas is pretty nice.
I want to take back
I've
land.
Been Arkansas, but I don't think have I been in.
It's really pretty. A lot of
I've been
water.
Through it, but I don't know if I've ever actually spent any time there.
Where's that ranch? We're just gonna go take over a ranch. We're what farmland did Bill Gates buy? We're just gonna squat. We're just gonna be nope, sorry, bitches. We're taking this over.
I have 5 acres, but we're probably gonna need more room than that. There's a lot of us.
Yeah, we're gonna need.
We would have to have a central. We'd have to have a central location and then grow out from there and just continue, you know what I mean? To continue to expand and be able.
Basically,
I feel like we could do it.
We just need a small state. Would be fine.
Yeah, we could literally then we could take over city council and we could take over because it would be us. Yeah. We're just and it's not.
But think about the potential. You got a snork who could he could be making things that run on completely sustainable energy forever.
Imagine our homeschool,
all the things, you know what I mean? Rob Juno could help us grow the best weed that's ever been grown ever.
With Jilly,
organically.
Jilly's good with the weed.
You know,
Halo Benson is doing like a what's it called, permaculture forest or whatever. She's growing. She's off grid. She's trying to go off grid. So she's coming on tomorrow. She's actually coming on my show tomorrow at 5, and we're going to talk about that, like how to grow food, how to get started, all of that stuff.
Awesome.
And there's people that are in this chat now too that do that stuff too. We have to I
suck at plants. I need a lot of help. I'm terrible.
Yeah. But see, that's where the community part about it comes in, because not everybody is like, like farmstead, some people are better at certain parts of those things.
I can't. It's hard for me to focus on that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's like, you have to be very attentive and patient and calm. Like, it's the whole thing.
Rob Juno's like, come you all to BC and grow great weed with me. Okay.
All right, Rob.
We'll be there tomorrow, Rob.
Where? Where are we going?
British Columbia, I guess.
Oh, okay. I thought you said DC at first, and I'm like, no,
DC.
Thank you.
Wait a minute.
No, thank you. DC sucks, man.
That sounds sketchy.
It's so the energy. I'm not joking. Like, I know that sounds very cuckoo, but
no, it makes sense to me. I'm all about the energy.
Heavy. Like, as soon as I pull into the Beltway, it's like an energy change. You can feel it. Everything just feels gross.
Well, think about it's all that heavy monuments and all that heavy
that
just
grime that doesn't go away.
Of evil
energy there.
Yeah.
Like, oh gosh, I know. I'm empathic, so like I pick up on everybody's stuff, and like I'll be like, oh no, and like I'll avoid stores and stuff like that because of that, because especially like when everything was really chaotic with the COVID, I was like, I had such a hard time going in the stores, and I could always tell when mainstream media or something, like some kind of shift or information happened, because it's like people, like they physically react. They would like wear the masks and they would get like really weird. Like, so like I was saying before, like Leo is, he's a service dog and he's cute and he's little and he rides in the top of the shopping cart. So people always want to come over and say hi. Like, he keeps me friendly. He keeps me interacting with people and talking to people that I wouldn't normally talk to. It's really an amazing thing. But through the whole COVID thing, it got really weird. It's like you could sense that people wanted to, but they wouldn't because of that. Like, it was like they were it was like you could almost see like a physical barrier, like stopping them. Like, and some people you could see that like they would be like, oh, like they would naturally approach because it was a natural thing for them to do.
You don't want to mess around, catch that dog, Ronas.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Jack. Oh no, you're Grumpy. Never mind. Wrong cat.
Grumpy.
Grumpy doesn't like me much.
Really?
She's grumpy. I mean, that's her name for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Skyla has a cat and her name is Sweetie, and I call her not so Sweetie sometimes because she's not.
She's not.
She is like very most part. She's Sweetie, but like sometimes I'm like, you're not so Sweetie right now.
Yeah. I mean, Grumpy's not like aggressive or violent or anything. She just is not impressed. You know what I mean?
Nonplussed.
Not impressed with anybody or anything. Like, just leave her alone. Get out of my face, lady. Because I'm like one of those forced affection cat owners. Like, I will snatch, especially my Daryl. Poor guy. He's the bestest cat ever. He is so chill. He's like the most it's like he's on a permanent Xanax. He's so chill. But I will just snatch him up and like squeeze him and say forced affection, and he just like, oh, here we go again.
Get all indignant.
Yeah.
Everett gets like that. Like, he's super, super cuddly and super sweet. And like, but it's really okay. So do your cats go outside at all? Like
one of them does.
So Everett only goes outside. He wears a harness and a leash, and he goes out like on the dog's run, like, because we're in apartments. Yeah. So he goes out and he like lays out there in the grass out the back door, like with his little harness and everything like that on, and he just wants to go out and lay in the sun. And he's I call him a cat dog. Like when he was little, he would go for rides with us in the van and just fall asleep in the back of the van with Leo. And like, oh my gosh, he's not a normal cat. Like he really isn't. But and he'll go. He's either like down for the couch sleeping, or like usually like just crazy cat.
It's kind of dangerous,
like
though.
Crab dance, walking sideways, like, you know. I love the crab dance.
Yeah, they get going.
And he's so big, you know. He's 18 pounds, so he's not like a little
I have a
cat.
I don't know how heavy my cat is, but he's a big old boy. Yeah, he's a chunker. He's very, very large.
I swear they keep
exercise.
they keep us going.
I think
man.
that might be dangerous, having him on a leash and a harness in the backyard. Like we have like big hawks that fly by and shit.
Yeah, that's I don't let I live out in the country, but one of my cats we rescued. Like she was about 5 years old and was feral, and she was outside of our house during a polar vortex one year. I don't know, a while ago. And I felt bad. Like that's what gets me. That's why I have so many cats. Seeing cats outside when it's cold, I can't handle it. So I'm like, I gotta save them. So that's why I have so many. But yeah, I literally sat on my kitchen floor with the sliding glass door open in a polar vortex, freezing my ass off, trying to get her to like me. So I would like put Tuna out, and she would come up a little bit, and like it took for weeks. And I did that like all the time. I was on the floor of my freaking kitchen, and finally she's still pretty wild. Like she likes me. She's pretty chill. She lets me pet her and stuff like that. She's very chill. She's cool with the other cats. Like she's pretty good. But she is still pretty wild. We've had her for, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 years now, maybe. But yeah, she took some work.
But she still goes outside.
Yeah, she loves it. So she'll like go outside, like we'll open the back door and she'll go outside, not for very long, maybe like 20 minutes. She never really leaves the yard. I watch her a lot. She never really leaves the yard. She just runs around. She likes to hunt little field mice and stuff. We live in the country. Yeah. And so she'll hunt little field mice and stuff like that. And then usually and she's so funny too. Like my front door is right over here, and she'll come and sit, and we have like this privacy film on our front door. So it's like you can only see like her shadow, and she'll sit at the front door. And you can see her like she's ready to come in. Like she's knocking on the door, and I go over and I open the door, and I'm like, "Oh, hello! Are you back from your adventure?" Yeah,
that's so funny. I love it.
Cute.
Oh, I know. Like,
cats have very legit personalities. Like they're all very different. It's great.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
See, that's another thing I like dove full force into, saving cats.
Right on.
Now I'm a cat lady. You know what I mean?
How many cats do you have right now?
I have 7 inside right now.
7. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought so. I remember it being like, I was like thinking it was like either 7 or a 9.
We have some cat peoples.
Yeah. I have our 2 original ones we just got for our girls originally. And then let's see, who came next? I think it was Cheebs. She's the feral one. We rescued her. And then we had the triplets. So there was another feral, because we have a bunch of outside cats that we feed too, because I'm insane. But I mean, again, we live in the country. There's a bunch of like barn cats and shit. We've gotten a lot of them. They kind of collect.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. I mean, once you start feeding them, the whole fucking neighborhood comes around.
Trish T is also a cat lady. She's self-professed.
Yes. But yeah, so one of the cats that was out there had a litter, and there were 6. We rehomed 3, and then we couldn't find homes for the other 3. So I was just like, well, I guess they're ours. Yeah. My husband's like, oh, goody. Sorry. And then of course, Jack. We found Jack outside with a really terrible.
Jack's a pirate. Yeah. It's a pirate kitty.
We had a cat in when I lived in Voluntown. On the pond, we had like a little cottage on the pond right there, and the cat would come swimming with us. Like his name was Clovis, and he would like swim out to like you know, we'd be up to our neck or whatever in the pond, cooling off, and the cat comes up and like sits on your shoulder and like just chills with you in the water.
That's so
like
cool.
the weirdest thing ever. I'd never seen another cat like do that. That was so cool.
No, my cats don't like water.
Yeah, most cats don't like water.
Yeah.
It was like,
I know that there's some, like I've seen some other cats that swim, but it's not very.
It's few and far between, I think.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's not encouraged. Why don't they encourage more cats to swim?
I know. It's
Have you ever tried to encourage a cat to do anything it doesn't want to do?
Oh wait, I remember why you don't encourage cats to swim.
Oh my gosh, you have to tell Misty about Sid.
About Sid?
Sid.
Well, my buddy Jim had a raccoon that he rescued.
Oh.
Yeah, our friend Bill's uncle had a big old tomcat, and he used to catch like he used to tangle with raccoons, and he killed the mom, and there was 2 cubs, and one of them died. They were really, really tiny, and so Jim had Sid for like a few months. And then one night, anyway, hanging out with Sid, we bring him back, and he usually stays at Jim's. Jim's got a good, you know, cage for him and stuff to be chilling. But so he's like a 2, maybe 3.5 month old raccoon, and he's hanging out with us at a party or whatever. Everybody gets all spun and drunk and stuff, and wake up in the morning, and Jim notices that he had left like a 10 strip of L on the table and fell asleep, and the bag is like all shredded up, and there's pieces of it gone, like, and Sid is in the kitchen just making the loudest chatter you ever heard, destroying every cabinet in the apartment, you know, just like going through all the pasta and the cereal and throwing everything everywhere, chattering like super loud, screaming, like everybody wakes up to this all hungover and half spun. It was really, really fucked up. But he was cool for like another 8 or 9 months or so, and then he had to bail because you can't keep them that long, because they once they meet maturity, you got to turn them loose. Because
they're like
they will just run away anyway.
They're like, I'm gonna reproduce. I don't care. I will get my way out.
Instinct takes over.
Andrew raised those little raccoons at his work. They used to be our little mascot at Action for Assange.
Nice.
But they moved on too.
Oh,
that's what they do.
It's so good to see him.
You gotta let your kids go, right? You gotta let them grow up.
We never knew if he like actually ate the acid or not, but he was like destroying the fucking kitchen. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, that was like, I've never seen like what damage a tiny little guy like that can do. Like,
Jenna Colby.
I bet a monkey could probably do just about as much damage, but they got fucking.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Into anything.
What is with Florida and being like the exotic like monkey and like every exotic pet down there? They have crazy pets. There are people that do YouTube channels that have like pet sloths and like monkeys.
I've heard of that.
I
live about 40 minutes away from Zanesville, Ohio. And if you look up Zanesville, Ohio massacre, there was a guy who had a shit ton of wild animals, tigers, lions.
Yes,
bears.
I remember this.
Yeah. And he committed suicide and left all the cages open, and they slaughtered all the animals. And it was horrific.
Yep.
Horrific. It made me so mad that they killed all these animals. They didn't do anything wrong.
That is horrendous. Everybody in Florida basically thinks they're the fucking Tiger King or whatever, and they have lots of fucking weird exotic pets, like lots and lots of them. It's pretty strange, but
cats are enough for me.
And pythons.
But I would really like Jack to come. I don't know where she's at.
Restrictor pythons and like all kinds of weird animals are invasive, and they're just like killing off all the wildlife and stuff. Like these pit python, that's what it is.
My gosh,
vipers.
And
they're like everywhere, you know.
Snork said that he's worried about the polar vortexes this winter.
Yeah.
How much have you guys gotten like more snow? How has your snow been?
Last year was very mild, but I mean, I've noticed that a pattern throughout my whole life where It's usually like a couple mild years followed by like a more crazy, like kind of lots of snow. So the last couple years have been pretty mild. 2, 3, 4 years it might be okay, and then like we'll get hit with a polar vortex or like a shit ton, like one really bad snowstorm or whatever. But I mean, generally speaking, Ohio's pretty chill as far as weather goes. I mean, the winters do suck. It is cold, but it's not unbearable. We don't get a whole ton of snow. We do get some, but not like an overabundance. Our summers suck because it's humid. But we don't have like I said, we don't have a ton of tornadoes or anything like that. So, it's pretty mild for the most part.
It's kind of like here, the same kind of thing. The winters have been diminishing, but tornadoes have been more frequent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember like when I first because I'm not even from here. I'm from the West Coast, and then I lived up the whole East Coast. So like, I lived here from like my teenage years when like in the 90s, and like it's been less and less snow like every year. I remember when Skyla was like 6. She is 18 now, so I remember when she was like 6, and like she would be standing in the snow cleaning off the roof of I had a Subaru wagon, and it was and it was an older one. It was like one of the so it was like more like just sedan height, regular car height. But like she's standing there on like the side of the car on top of the snow cleaning off the roof because that's how much snow we had. And it's like we don't get that anymore. We don't have the same
snow like that so much around here anymore.
Yeah, I would think you guys would get a lot more snow being northeast, but
yeah, north of us
we used to
still gets lots of snow, like pretty much typically every winter now. Just north of where we are now, probably even 40 miles makes all the difference. But like that line used to be like Long Island used to be where it didn't get as much snow, and then it started a little further inland, and then that's like it's just gotten like now it's up in the middle of Massachusetts instead of being in Connecticut, like the snow line generally.
Yeah. I'm south of I-70, which cuts through Ohio. And so most of the stuff just based on like the wind stream goes north of me. So like even thunderstorms, I can look out my back window, which sucks because I love thunderstorms. Midwestern thunderstorms, there is nothing better. Nothing better than a Midwestern thunderstorm. So good. But a lot of the good ones miss us. I can watch them go across my backyard.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's kind of neat though, being right at the edge of it.
Yeah. I mean, I can literally, it's the same location every time, and we can just sit on our back porch. And sometimes like we'll still get to see the lightning and stuff from far away. In the clouds from over there, but I can just, there goes the really cool thunderstorm. Bye. Once again, we miss it.
Good night, Trey.
They used to be weird.
I need to go to bed too. I'm tired.
I know you. Yeah, you yawned a couple times. Yeah.
I already did 3 hours today, y'all.
Thank you for hanging out with us so long.
3 hours every day, 5 days a week. Although it's going to change. Like I said, there's going to be some changes to my show coming up, I think. So.
Right on.
Oh, awesome. And I can't wait to come on too. Like that's going to be so fun.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Sorry it took so long for me to finally get on here. But
no worries.
Life is crazy.
We appreciate
I know it's been
I have an insane schedule. I need to.
I know you were like, well, when do you? I'm like, when are you free? Because your schedule is like way worse.
I actually did 4 hours today because I did fault lines this morning too. That just occurred to me.
Damn.
All right. Yeah. So this is
putting
6
in work,
hours
folks.
now.
She is putting in work.
That's why I'm tired. That's why I'm tired.
Yeah.
You earned that.
Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone here knows, but let's tell everyone.
Remind them.
This is the part I hate. Like I hate doing all my stuff. So I'm on Twitter, Sarcasm Stardust. Sometimes I tweet about my shows if I remember, but I am literally the worst at self-promotion. So most of the time I forget. But my show's on TNT Radio, which just go and support TNT Radio. I am probably the most lefty person on there. It is more of a right-ish leaning radio station. But they are.
How do they find it? Like, what is the best way for them to listen?
TNTradio.live is the website, and then it's also on like Podbean and Spotify and blah blah blah. All of the podcast app or the Apple Podcasts, all of that stuff. There's an app if you want to go to the App Store and find that.
Nice.
But yeah, and I think eventually we're supposed to do video at some point. But it's new. Like it's like
Sweet.
less than a year old, I think. So they're really just getting their feet under them and trying to figure out format and who's gonna do what and when and where and whose show.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like it's all kind of in flux right now.
Logistics, man.
But they don't censor at all.
That's dope.
Nothing.
That's amazing. That's what we need. That's what we need to support too.
It was so cool. Andrew came on my show and he started to talk about. Oh, I don't want to say it. Sorry, I almost did. I don't want to get you in trouble. But Andrew started to talk about.
Well, I've gotten in trouble already. Like
I know. That's why I try to be very careful when I'm on other people's shows. But Andrew was on my show and he started to talk about it, and he did what I just did, where he was like dancing around the word, trying to figure out how to say it without saying it. And I'm like, I was so excited. I got to be like, dude, you can just speak freely here. You can just talk about it. Like you don't have to worry. You can just talk about it. So good. It's so good.
That's kind of the same kind of freedom that we feel like when we switch over to Rumble and Odysee after sometimes, like to talk about specific things.
You don't have to worry about like, shit, can I say that? Or how can I say this without actually saying? Yeah, it's so good. And I was like, Andrew, you can just speak freely.
You can just actually say the word. Like, oh, that's got to be so nice. Like, you just want to have like a whole stream of just
other people's shows. I'm like, I almost did it. I was like, oh shit. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Like you want to have a show of just like all the keywords. Like I just want to get all of them out, you know.
Like George Carlin's seven words you can't say on TV.
That's right. Like, 7 dirty words
you just want to get on there and be like, blah, 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 like just rattle them all off really fast. Yes. God. I would like to be able to just talk.
Like a Tourette's tick. You just bang them all on at once. Yes.
Oh, VS Adams just said the FOIA request was denied.
Oh, motherfucker. Of course. Because why would you want to?
Damn.
I mean,
why would you want to read the information?
Can I just say, though, before I go, please go follow Stefania Maruzzi. Please go follow Stefania Maruzzi. I think her Twitter is at @smaruzzi. But she is an amazing Italian investigative journalist. She has been in an absolute full-on battle with multiple countries over FOIA requests regarding the Julian Assange case. That's what this was about. She's trying to get FOIA information released about the way things were handled in the Julian Assange case across the entirety of the past 12 years. And she hates when I say this, but it is true in my opinion. She is a incredibly courageous, absolute bulldog. One of the nicest people. That's why she hates it. She is like one of the nicest, most soft-spoken, like kind. So bulldog, she feels like doesn't really. But she, as far as being a journalist, she is an absolute bulldog. She does not give up at all. This will not be a deterrent for her. Go support her. Go follow her.
What is her?
Support her. Right Stefania Maruzzi. So her Twitter handle is @Maruzzi, I think. But let me double check because I don't want to give you the wrong one. So it is @Maruzzi. So that's MAURIZI. MAURIZI is her Twitter handle. And she also has a book coming out at the end of this year in English. It's already out in Italian. I think it comes out or maybe it's next year. Maybe it's next. Maybe 2023. I'm not sure. It's coming out soon, but just look into that. I've already pre-ordered mine, but please go support her work. She is amazing. What
is her? Wait, it was S
Maruzzi. So it's SMAURIZI. I guess I could put it in the chat for everybody.
Yeah.
Whoops, helps if I spell it right. Come on, Winston.
Be easy on yourself. You did a lot today.
That's fair. Easy on myself is not something I'm good at.
Got it.
My own worst critic. Okay, yes, please go follow. Support independent journalists. Support independent journalists, please.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Misty.
This
has been awesome.
Yeah, I would have had a hard time finding that. Like, I would have been like, what?
What did she say again?
Oh my gosh, have you noticed that Twitter is following, like, you know how, like, they unfollow you?
Yes.
They make me follow people.
Yeah.
They, like, have me following, like, Ryan Grimm or some shit the other day. I was like, what the hell?
He hates me. Holy balls.
Oh my God, he does. He does.
Yeah, he really does. It's all right. I mean, I don't hate Ryan. I am.
He's just jelly because you can tell the truth, and he can't.
I'm just disappointed. Ryan
doesn't have the courage.
Be a really good journalist. Like he could. He's done great work. Yeah. He could be great, but I mean, and I get it. He's choosing access and career, and I mean, it is what it is. It's just disappointing. It sucks when we lose somebody who could be legitimately great. You know what I mean? Right. That sucks.
That does. It never doesn't sting when you lose somebody to the dark side.
I don't hate him. He hates me. I don't hate him. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, right?
I think that he just doesn't have the courage, and he's what he sees in you.
The comfort.
His problem with you is what he is lacking within himself.
Right. I mean, path of least resistance is what he's chosen. I don't blame him for it. I get it. The allure of that is very enticing. I mean,
it is. It's
maybe
enticing.
He'll come back and blow us all
if
away
you don't have integrity.
I love a good redemption story. I really do.
Man.
Oh my gosh! See, that's the thing. We're always.
That's what I'm always hoping
open
for.
Arms, like fuck it. We redeem yourself. Absolutely.
I don't cancel.
Our door is open.
Yeah.
We will welcome you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm all about a redemption story. Again, we're all on our own journey.
Right.
Like, I can't fault anybody for being somewhere where I'm not. You know, that's not.
Yeah, we've all had our own experiences as to how we got here, and we're learning along the way too as we go. Man. Like, you know, I don't in any way claim to be a perfect person.
They don't call them growing pains for nothing. You know, you gotta evolve. Evolution takes fucking effort, and
be an adult.
It hurts sometimes.
Communicate, be honest, and like that's, you know, like that's where you can, you know, you can usually find a common ground with just about everybody if you're just if
authentic. Like that's your show. Honest. Like that's I can deal with almost anybody if they are being authentic. If they are coming at me in a real way and they are genuine in their beliefs, that I can work with almost anybody who I feel is an honest actor. It's when people are disingenuous and when people are, you know, coming from a place of, you know, shade. That's what I can't handle. But if I don't care who you are, I don't care. We can disagree all day long. If you're coming at me in a real way, I can work with that. I can work
absolutely
with that,
because
we're not looking for an echo chamber. We're looking for a respectful, truthful chamber.
I have a troll. They haven't been around for a while though, because I think maybe they got embarrassed. I think they like it was a new troll, and they were trying to say that I live in an echo chamber. Me.
Okay.
I'm like, Steve, it's kind of similar to you commented on I got another comment on the Primo thing where they were like, you don't talk to anybody on the right. And I'm like, I literally get trashed for that on a daily basis. That's not reality. I talk to people on the right all the time.
Exactly.
Go look at the lineup on my TNT show. It is literally the widest. Like it's everybody. It's from every possible political ideology. I think. I mean, there's been days I have 3 hours a day, so 3 different guests where I've gone from like libertarian to leftist to straight up conservative in the same day. You know what I mean?
It is pretty ridiculous. That was a ridiculous fucking tweet. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
I don't live in an echo chamber. I advocate for talking to people that I disagree with all the time. It's what I get the most hate for. Like, there's plenty of things to legitimately criticize me on. You don't have to make stuff up, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, like, come on. The one thing that you know is 100% not fucking factual. That's what you go after. That's the
if there's one thing that you could say that is like the most ridiculous criticism that you could make up about me, it's that. Because I seriously, literally every single day, somebody complains about the fact that I talk to people on the right every single day. So that's a really strange criticism.
It's really funny.
Jenna said,
I got a kick out of that.
Your trolls need to buy a plant.
Buy a plant.
Yes. Yeah. Like I use that hashtag too because it's just so funny.
I'm going to start like every time I usually don't respond to trolls anymore. I've learned. It took me a while to learn. And Caitlin Johnstone helped me kind of woo-saw it, because it used to be like my gut reaction was to like go at them, you know what I mean, destroy them, you know, because they're so stupid, it's so easy, but it's really just a waste of time. So I try really hard to just ignore them at this point. I've muted most of them. I don't really care. And the only time I ever really see any of my trolls is if somebody else responds to them, because then that comes up in my mentions.
And then that's the thing you have to get past, that second one where your reflex is like face kick.
And then usually I still don't respond to the troll. I'll respond to the person who has been responding to the troll and just say, hey, just so you know, that's one of my most dedicated trolls, because it's always the same people. That's one of my most dedicated trolls. You're wasting your time. Don't worry about it.
You gotta give them props.
They're literally obsessed. It's
consistency is everything.
They have that focus. They have that hyper focus.
I mean, I appreciate anybody who puts the effort in. You put the work in, okay.
It's just weird. Like, to be obsessed with, I'm some chick in Ohio. I have no power. I have no influence. I'm just some chick in Ohio. And it's so strange. Like, literally people who are like just hate stalking me, following my every fucking word to like find something to be angry about. And it's like, I don't even have time to keep up with the people that I like. And then there are people who dedicate themselves to just following me around to be angry.
That's fucking
I just feel bad.
I
say thanks for the view time and the light. Thanks for the view time and the watch. You know, thanks for the watch time.
That's just great. If you can make somebody angry by not responding, and then it makes them angry, that's fucking.
It's something that I definitely I had to really learn and kind of like reevaluate, because I have grown ass adults that block and unblock and follow like fucking stalk.
I'll never understand how that works. That's just the most weirdest thing.
And
but it's like whatever.
At this point, it's like
feel better about things.
It's like okay, you know, I just ignore it, because it's just at this point it's amusing. It's just like.
Yeah,
I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm not coming into your space. I'm not being invasive with you or being, you know what I mean? Like, you're just a person that I just, you know, because I don't block people, especially because I mod in some of the chats, you know, like I mod on Convo. That's a crazy one to freaking mod for. When Fee added me as a mod, I remember I was telling Steve this other day, I'm like, do you remember when she did that? And I went like, oh my God, because I didn't I hadn't really been like a mod on the channel, and I didn't realize like how crazy things are behind the scenes. And I'm like, Steve, I don't know what to do. So I kind of like took Jilly's lead on like, you know, we disapprove, you know, like we really, that right there taught me so much about not censoring people. Yeah. And like not doing that. It's pretty amazing. Like, I look back and I'm like, damn, the shit that I've learned from being in this family.
Yeah. I don't block people in chats. I'll block people on Twitter, because people will be like, oh, I thought you were a free speech activist. Me blocking you because you're really annoying and sometimes scary. Like, people legitimately stalk me. I'm not joking. They have gotten into my Instagram account and they have pictures of my children. Like, that's the level I'm dealing with. So I'm going to block you. You know what I mean? And that's not a violation of your First Amendment. I don't owe you an audience. You're still free to talk all the shit you want to, but I don't owe you an audience.
Exactly.
You're not owed access to me. Do you know what I mean?
Jilly, I don't leave you all alone.
That is the thing too, is like just recognizing the fact that censorship in this case is me telling you to fuck off. So that's, I'm perfectly okay with that.
Comes to your door and yells at you doesn't mean you have to keep the door open and listen. No. You can close the door.
Exactly.
You're gonna be like, no, I'm good.
And I don't block a ton of people, but just people who are legitimately obsessed and are a concern. You know what
Certainly.
I mean?
And everybody gauges that. You know what I mean? That's a thing. Yeah. I don't fault anyone for having to do that, because inevitably, you know what I mean, you're talking to thousands of people, and you're gonna piss off somebody, or you're gonna attract somebody wacky.
I'm going to. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I have to be. It's weird, but I have to be kind of careful. I forget who interviewed me. Somebody did a show. I was like to talk about my life as an activist, and she was like, you are one of the most well-guarded activists I've ever dealt with. I was trying to find pictures of you to use and talk about your work, and I can't find anything. And I'm like, that is intentional.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't put a lot of stuff out there. Because people are weird. Real talk. People are weird as fuck.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
They really are.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know,
I have to be, unfortunately, I have to be concerned about that for whatever reason. I piss people off.
You know,
and you have young
and
kids
people have their own
too.
like
you have
way
little
of
ones
gauging that as well. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm sure you don't go into a thing like that like easily deciding, all right, well, this person's fucking, you know,
Sometimes
makes you
it's
feel
real
uncomfortable.
easy,
All you have
not
to
gonna
do is
lie.
once, you know.
Sometimes it's real easy.
Yeah.
But I've noticed too that like blocking and muting people, once you stop feeding into it, a lot of them have just left me alone.
Sure.
It's kind of more
it's like that kindergartner like mentality. Like it's like, what would you tell your kid if someone was doing that kind of thing, right?
I think they're trying to get a rise out of me. I think that's the game, is they're trying to get me to say inflammatory things, something that's maybe bannable. Stuff like that. So, I mean, that's, and again, credit to Caitlin Johnstone, because I used to let that shit kind of get to me more, and I would, shoot off at the mouth, because that's what I do. Yeah. But it's not worth it. It's
experience teaches us. That's awesome though. Like,
I definitely
have somebody that, a veteran person be like, no, handle it like this.
Kate's been great. Like if it weren't for Caitlin Johnstone, Elizabeth Lee Voss, and Taylor Hudak, I wouldn't probably be sitting in front of you right now.
Right.
Well,
shout out all of them.
And Andrew.
And Andrew, of course.
Yeah, I'm so glad that Andrew's back. I just gotta say.
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I love Eric. Eric, who stepped in, Koi Contrarian, who stepped in when Andrew was on his break. I love him. He did a great job. I mean, I don't mean this in any way to slight him, but Andrew is my Andrew. You know what I mean? Like, we've been in this fight for years now. And so I'm very happy that he's back. Makes me very happy.
Yeah, I love the stash. Like it really filled in.
He's rocking the
jazz hands. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
jazz hands.
Yeah, he's got to come on the show too now. Like he has.
I agree, Franco. Franco builds beautiful like-mindedness. Rob says
Franco is
well
amazing. Said. Franco is. I said this the other day. He is like my exact opposite. He's very calm. He's very he speaks very deliberately and very thoughtfully, and he's very patient. He is like my complete opposite, and I love him for it.
Super.
I call him the backwards hat Zen journalist.
Yeah, he's just like so composed. Like, if he played like rap music or something, he'd rap in like a slow meter and just like.
He would be like the R&B jam.
Yeah.
He would be like the smooth.
Yeah, they keep
seriously. I like, he is diametrically opposed to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I need people like that in my life. And he is.
I know you and I in the same room. We would be so freaking loud and obnoxious to probably everybody else.
Me and Nico, bad.
A lot of energy.
Yeah, me and Nico was bad together in the same room, or even Pasta, or God, when we were
Pasta is so loud, like on the phone and stuff.
1 year, I think it was for the January 4th no extradition ruling. It was like the whole crew. I mean, not the whole crew, but most of us. It was like myself, Kendra, Nico, Pasta and Fee, Steve, Andrew. We had Sleepy Josh on, like, he was on video because he can't fly, but he was on video link like most of the time. Nice. But yeah, like when we're all in the same spot, it's crazy. Like, I remember RBN had us all on a panel, and it was they're like, we're going to talk about, I forget, anti-imperialism or something, and you have an hour. And I'm like, you have like 75% of MCSC in the same place at the same time on the same panel, and we only have an hour. This is going to be interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Here, everybody gets 7 minutes. Go.
Yeah. It was, we're all it's a lot of big personalities at MC.
Yeah. And then Miss Glory Jones, and like, she just has a presence with her hair alone. Like, her hair has its own presence.
That's a poppin' crew though. I could see, I would like to hang out with y'all's.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my fans.
Well,
a cat ran through. I don't know if it was Jack.
Oh, Kitty ran through.
Which way?
I think that's
Grumpy.
That was Grumpy. It was towards the front door.
Well, shout out to all the kitties tonight. Thank you for all tuning in.
Yeah, I gotta go. We keep getting distracted. I gotta go.
I
know. All right. Thanks for having me. I love you guys. Thanks, chat.
We love you.
Yeah, bye, guys.
Yeah, you're gonna come back. Oh, that was awesome. Awesome.
Way cool.
Thank you everybody for stopping by and hanging out with us. This was a good show. I can always tell it was a good one when like my cheeks hurt. Like
yeah, lots of giggles and lots of information and important stuff.
Yes.
Thank you all
Free
for sharing
Assange.
with us in that. Thank you, Misty. Again, that was fantastic. Lots of fun.
Oh my gosh, yes, that was absolutely a great conversation. And like, we should have done it a while ago, but we didn't, and we did it now. So there we go. So yes, please make sure that you are following Misty. I'm sure that most of you are watching are. She's fantastic. Does excellent work. Action for Assange is back up and they're doing the show again. Super exciting.
Yeah, and they're doing it with Andrew.
Yes. Andrew is back. He's got a haircut and the mustache is there.
Don't get hung up on the mustache. Okay?
I love it. I love how it's almost like old fashioned.
Lots of fun. Thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. We'll see you all very, very soon.
Yeah, and everyone is saying that Richard Medhurst is doing one of his marathon streams. So I think everybody is going over there.
Let's go crash that stream. All right. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
We love y'all. Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to play a thing, aren't I?
You gotta play the thing.
I'm supposed to do a thing? Where is it? I'm trying to find it. There it is. All right. We love you. Good night.
Later, Gators.
Hydro field cuts through my neighborhood. Somehow that always just made me feel good. And I can put a spare bulb in my hand, light up my yard. Late at night when the wires in the walls sing in tune with the din of the falls. I'm conducting it all while I sleep to light this whole town.